Lots of comments about it
Do we
today.
need to know why for any reason?
Oh,
'cause
and we're live now. Hey folks,
We're live
Lester here.
already.
Yeah,
I don't-
we're
where do you say
officially
we're live?
no, we're live. It said you are live, Kim.
Oh.
I'm gonna hide that comment that's on there right now. And we are here on Jamie's Timeout Tuesday. Lester here. I'm joined by my sister Kim, and who we call Uncle Dan. However, he's really my brother.
Wait a
We
minute,
just call him
where's-
Uncle Dan.
Where's Jamie? If it's Jamie's timeout, Tuesday.
Jamie's traveling and she
Oh.
can't be here, but a lot of folks have come to enjoy their Tuesday nights.
Why can't he be Brother Dan if I'm Sister Kim?
I don't know. I never really thought of it that way. I just wanted my kids to call him Uncle Dan. I wanted my kids to call him Uncle Dan.
They don't call me Aunt Kim.
I don't know why, because we
Because
call our
Because you-
uncles and aunts
They call you
Uncle.
Nanny. They call you Nanny.
Some of them do, but most of them because we
Because
don't
didn't raise
act
our
like
kids-
old
We didn't
people.
raise our kids to be respectful.
No,
to
we did not
each
raise
other.
our kids right, but I did try at the very end. I tried at the very end, and it was too late.
Everybody knows my kids. They know they weren't raised right.
Mm.
I just want kids to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes or no, sir.
That's
don't
what I
really-
want.
And I don't like yeah.
You
Do
know
you
what?
want some popcorn? Say yes, ma'am, not yeah.
I
like that.
don't even care about yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, or sir, no,
Or
sir.
thank you.
I'm tired of lazy. I am
Oh, yeah.
sick and tired of lazy.
Hmm.
And I do know that it's our own fault for the generation that we've raised of all the lazy kids going around. We like to point at the kids and say, man, these kids are no good. They're lazy. But who raised those kids? Us, all of us, along with all of y'all. So it's easy to point fingers and say how lazy this generation is. I don't know even Gen X, Gen Z. I don't know who's
I don't know
who,
that kind of stuff.
but I
either.
know that the kids of today are lazy.
I know what I did wrong.
What?
When I would tell my kids to do something, they didn't do it the way I wanted it. Instead of making them redo it, I would just be like, "Get out of here! I'll just go. I'll do it
It's
myself."
easier to do it yourself.
That was
Yeah.
their plan. That was they learned that early on, and they say, "Hey, if
No.
I just don't do it right, then Dad will do it for me."
I hope they didn't learn it. I hope it's just something that I was a perfectionist or something, maybe.
All right. Well, I'm gonna scoot over. Kim, you scoot closer to me. No, I want Dan in the screen. Dan keeps purposely leaving the screen.
No, I'm
Come
not
on,
purposely
Kim.
leaving
Get
the
over
screen.
here.
I'm here.
Well, yeah, but you can't be like half face, Dan. We gotta do Jamie some justice here.
All right.
Ray's got to look tiny between y'all.
Yeah,
I do.
you didn't look tiny till me and Dan sit here, and
But
then
what
we
I'm
sat
really-
down. And,
What I'm really digging is Lester's overalls.
Oh yeah, I
Or
like.
no,
it.
wait, are those overalls or coveralls?
this is actually be
It
careful.
only covers part
Careful
of it.
what you say, because this was a gift. I was gifted this, and you cannot talk about someone's gift. Hey, by the way, did y'all ever hear or have y'all heard recently about the fact that 85% of Americans are completely okay with receiving a regift?
I haven't heard
Well, you
that.
should know all about that, being that we used to get lots of regifts from you.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so that's not true.
What his kids at school would bring them. He would
No.
bring, he would
Yeah,
give
No,
them-
I still
no,
have. Well, no, it
no.
didn't. I burned up in the fire.
No,
Clap on, clap off.
I bought that. The clapper.
I got a cup one time that said Mr. Morrow on it. And
Well,
nobody's
you
ever
are
called me.
Mr.
Nobody's
Morrow.
ever called me Mr. Morrow, and I know he didn't have that made for me.
You
Ever.
are Mr. Morrow, though. That doesn't count. And if we're going to sit here and talk about old times, we're going to have to make sure that we're truthful and honest, because
You
most of
remember
these
that.
folks-
You remember that truthful and honest part.
most people already know the truth because I told them the truth.
No, that's,
so
that's
whatever
your version
That's
of
exactly
the
heard
truth.
his
Whatever
version
they
of
hear
the
from
truth.
y'all is probably going to be a little bit
Mhm.
fabricated. But I would like to start off tonight's discussion. Well, first of all, we have to do the traditional here's to Timeout Tuesday. Cheers to Timeout
Timeout
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Dan and I are having a Bud Light, and Kim's drinking coffee.
Yeah, it's
Is it at least
cappuccino.
cold? Is it cold or
No,
is it
it's
hot?
warm, but it's cappuccino caramel.
Oh,
It's caramel
okay.
flavored.
Well,
Oh, you spiked it with caramel.
No, it's made with caramel.
Okay.
I had promised Jamie that I would not embarrass her. The last time that I did her Timeout Tuesday, I had Jake and Brienne here, and they have no shame, none whatsoever. Dan, I don't know where they got
Lord,
that
I'm glad I
from.
don't watch their lives.
Is
Well-
Jake still in Alaska?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's a long vacation.
Yeah, and who's been doing all them chores since Jake's been gone?
You?
Me, and I'm about sick of that Alaska trip. But no, I'm happy Jake had a chance to go off and experience the world, because I've never been to Alaska, and I sure would
No,
love to.
It's on my bucket list.
It's
Yeah,
on your
mine
bucket
too.
list. So good for Jake. But listen, here's what I promised everybody: a couple of things tonight. I promised them that we would celebrate other cultures, and we would start off that by opening some Chinese fortune cookies.
Oh, I
Okay.
love fortune cookies.
Okay,
I
good.
don't like to eat them. I just like to read them.
Okay, good. Well, Dan, so
I'll eat
Dan,
'em.
I actually think I may have learned this from you. I'm going to type this in. Can we have over here real fast? In the bed, comma, under the.
Covers, yeah.
Oh, you know about this.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Let's keep
Whatever
it
your,
cla-
whatever your fortune cookie says, you add in the bed under the covers to the end of it.
Oh my
I'm going to
gosh.
keep it classy and say under the sheets because we're going to keep it classy tonight.
Well, what's wrong with the covers?
Kim,
That's
Hillbilly? Backwoods?
I don't
under
think
the
most people
covers?
know what they don't call them covers. They call them sheets under the
We're-
covers.
Well, if you
We're
live
country.
in if
We're
you live
country.
in Texas, you call them covers.
So we know.
Oh,
about the
I heard
covers.
something about
because
something
when
you
we
do
grew up,
today.
hold on, we didn't have sheets. We just had covers. We didn't have
Yeah, we
sheets.
didn't have sheets.
We
Mama,
had covers.
Mama did away with the sheets in our sets.
All I had was one of those camping sleeping bags, and that
Yeah,
was
unzipped all the way around.
and that
Like
was
flat.
everything I needed. I had my
Wait.
sheets and my.
No, I had Afghans, and I don't know if
I
people know
still
what
have the
Afghans.
Afghans.
Afghans have holes in them everywhere. And how does an Afghan keep you warm with holes in
You
it?
had something under the
No, just
Afghan.
an Afghan.
Lie.
No,
That's
No,
the
okay.
lie.
Afghan.
So I don't mean to to one up anybody here, but I had Afghans also. Dan's right. We had Afghans.
Yes, we did. I still have a couple.
And there was nothing under them. I know there was nothing under
Yeah,
them.
there's
And I'll tell you
No,
why.
because they're itchy.
Kim, listen to this story. You're not going to ever.
Storytellers.
I think you're gonna remember this.
Please don't tell me something poking out of the Afghan. Please.
Nothing
God.
was poking through the Afghan.
I hope
Relax.
because them holes are tiny.
The holes
I
of
hope
the
not.
Afghans are tiny. But listen, so if y'all may not even remember this, I was a freshman in college. Of course, I was well built back in those days, and I got my nipple pierced. Y'all don't remember
Oh,
this?
the
I
Afghan
remember
caught
that.
it?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
And I always slept without a shirt on. Here I was, big old buff guy, when I had my nipple pierced. I know it sounds weird now, but I'm sitting here sleeping one night, and at some point the Afghan had grabbed onto
Your pierced.
the piercing, and I don't, for some reason, when I shift that night, I don't just do it like TV. I don't TV shift. I jerk.
Yeah.
I jerk over from one side to the next. I jerk. And for some reason, I got ready to shift. So I jerked that Afghan to change, and it had that earring, and it popped it right out. It
Mm.
ripped my nipple, and where it dangled like that.
Mm.
And so I do know Dan's right. We did have Afghans, yet we had nothing over the Afghans like most people would have
That
done.
was because you boys kicked things off or something.
Yeah,
Maybe. But anyway, that was my Afghan horror story.
All right, I
Um,
have a question.
Okay.
Daniel, don't you say a word.
I won't say anything. I'll be real quiet.
This is just typical form
Mhm.
stuff. When you break a bell apart, a square bell,
Mhm.
what do you call those little sections that you throw out?
What?
I bet y'all know. I bet folks in here know that.
You Google
Wait,
it.
I'm not
because
gonna-
you
hold on.
say somebody told me you say it a certain way. and
Well,
I'm
they're
thinking,
called
well,
blocks. They're called blocks.
they're called squares.
They're called blocks.
What do you call them?
Flakes.
Flakes?
They're called flakes.
No, they're blocks.
No, when you have a square bell of hay, a bigger, rectangular bell
Yeah,
of
you
hay.
take it apart and you throw a block here, you throw a block there, you
Block.
throw a block there, you throw a block over here. Each cow gets a block. Each cow
Yeah,
gets a
that's
All
block.
what
I'm
Dad
reading
is-
here are flakes, y'all. So the word,
That's because those people are flakes.
Well, you can't say that on his live.
these are my people. These are Jamie's people. You
Oh
can't
my
say-
goodness gracious!
They
you
know
ruined
I'm,
it.
they know I'm playing.
Y'all know Kim
Um,
just plays flakes
Somebody
or slivers.
told me today you called them flakes, and I said, well, he must have Googled that from something up north because we don't call them flakes down here.
Well, we don't really use square bells here. We've been using
Where
round
did you,
bells
where'd you
for
come up with
years.
that? Where'd you come up with that word, flakes?
Googled it.
No, I wouldn't have Googled that, but I believe just from watching other
It
YouTubers.
does come up with some things sometimes.
He does.
No, how would all these people call them flakes if I didn't just make that up?
People call them biscuits.
We are
I've heard
Kim's
that.
people too. Lester
Does
calls
anybody call them
flakes.
croissants?
Okay.
Anyway,
was
they're
curious.
by the way, folks, they're blocks. They're blocks.
Daddy
Dan
has always
calls them
called them
Blocks of
Dad
hay
calls them
makes a bell.
I pull them out and say I threw a square here to their square there, but that's
So the thing is, I would, if I were talking to any of you guys in a conversation, I would completely get it. So I wouldn't correct you. I would just say, yeah, block
Because you knew what we were talking
But if you
about.
told
yeah.
me to give that cow a flake,
I wouldn't know what you're
I
talking
would.
about.
Yes,
I
you
no, I would have
would.
no idea. I would have no
I-
idea.
I wouldn't have
a
either.
flake of
Flake of what?
hay. Oh my
I probably would
gosh.
have took a little bit, just like a little bit out of there and
Yeah.
dropped it far.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Bruh.
Like
Okay.
You said give her
like
some flakes.
fish flakes.
Okay, was that what you wanted to talk to us about?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to move on with our celebrating the Chinese culture
Yeah.
and some fortune
I need
cookies.
to move that.
So a sweet lady named Teresa Eulenhake sent us 100 of these fortune cookies
Oh wow.
because she had so much fun watching us play this with Jake.
I don't see any fortunes hanging out of them. Are they inside of there?
You, Dan, stop. You will.
No, typically in the restaurants they're hanging out the side.
Those are
These are more
cheap. These are not the cheap
Oh,
ones.
okay.
So hold on. Don't everyone just read it at once. We're going to open it up.
Okay.
And what you're going to do is one at a time. We'll start with Kim. You cannot laugh, Kim. You have to read your fortune. And then at the very end of it, include the phrase in the bed under the sheets.
No, I can't.
Why?
Well, you want to read mine instead then?
No, I'm scared to read
No,
yours.
mine's easy. If you don't want to be
Let me-
dirty.
That's dumb.
Sometimes they are dumb. If they're dumb, get a double McCall.
All right,
Sometimes
hand me another one. Mine's not dumb.
Mine
necessarily, but
is
mine
no, but it won't go with under the
I
bed.
don't know.
either.
My wife may think so.
I bet you we can find a way to make it work. All right, Kim, you're up first. So
Where,
read
what do I say afterwards?
right there. I
In
put
the
it right here
bed and under
in the bed
under the
and
sheets.
under the sheets. Just read
I'm embarrassed,
your,
sort of.
huh?
I'm sort of embarrassed.
Oh,
Kim,
like mine.
stop.
Can I start?
You will.
This mine is true.
Here it goes.
Mine is true.
Mine's not true.
Okay, Dan, since yours is true.
Okay, since mine is true, you have the ability to touch the lives of many people in the bed and under the sheets.
that's
Stay away from
good.
me.
That's a good one, Dan. So Dan has the ability. That's my brother, y'all. He has the ability to touch the lives of many people in the bed and under the sheets. Now, you guys are all going to vote for who's your favorite. So
I
Kim,
hope it's
make your-
only Lou that
Huh?
knows his
I hope Lou's not watching.
ability. Okay, mine is you. You will receive a surprising gift very soon in the bed under the sheet.
Kim, you're going to receive a surprising gift real soon. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm the oldest one of the group here. I have to get my glasses out.
I had to hold mine away.
Okay, this is pretty good. This is actually really sweet, actually. Your happy heart brings joy and peace where there is none in the bed and under the sheets.
Poor Jamie.
I don't bring peace in there. I can tell you that right now. There ain't no peace in my bedroom.
That's funny. So Jake and Bree took it to a whole new level. And Jake is fine with stuff, but Bree was a lot like Kim, embarrassed to read hers because just girls in general are a little bit more bashful about it. But hers was the best. And so it's time for you guys now to let us know whose you enjoyed the most. So we're looking for Dan's,
We
Kim's,
can't eat them?
I don't care.
or Lester's. You can eat if you wanted to. So Dan, read yours one more time.
Mine said you have the ability to touch many lives of people in the bed and under the covers. or
So
under the
you
sheets.
have the ability to touch many lives of people in the bed and under the sheets. And Kim,
touch the lives of many people. Yeah.
I'm excited about what might happen later.
go, Kim. Kim, that's mine. Kim's excited about hers, maybe for something later.
Yeah,
we
You
said.
will receive a surprising gift very soon in the bed under the covers.
You will receive a surprising gift very soon. And then mine
Does that
says,
make you excited?
oh, here it is.
No, I'm worried about Honey being in my bed tonight.
Honey is who?
The
The little dog.
Your little dog. Your happy heart brings joy and peace where there is none in the bed and under the sheets. They actually all make sense,
Yeah.
even with the phrase added.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it really depends on.
Because his other one didn't really make sense.
No, that's
What
one
did
he
it-
just read. That's one he just read.
No, the one
No,
about
the first
gold.
one that Dan had said, you have a heart of gold.
Oh yeah, you have a heart of gold.
You have a heart of
You
gold.
do have a heart of gold,
But
I
in the
don't know
bed
that-
under the sheets, I don't know
yeah.
if that makes any sense or not. All right, so guys, it's time for y'all to let us know whose applies more to you. We want to know which one do you think applies more to you guys. No one is saying Lester. I'm going to go ahead and just.
I did see a
Hey.
Lester, but I see Dan, Uncle Dan, Kim. Kim was the funniest. Dan,
Everybody wants a surprise.
yeah.
Everybody wants a surprise. No one wants to be touched Many people, Dan. No one wants to be touched by many people
I
in the
do.
bed or under the sheets.
I do.
You have you have to remember that I think that we have about 85% women that follow the channel, and they're probably disgusted by that, Dan.
They probably are. I'm sorry, ladies.
They
I'm
would-
sorry.
They're all excited about, oh my God, what's waiting for me tonight in the bed under the sheets. However, they don't want to be touched by many people in the bed under the sheets, and no one gives a damn about the joy they can receive from a.
They're not.
Wait,
They're not. They
They're
want to
not
surprise.
receiving.
They want to be surprised by something.
What was his?
his happy heart brings joy. And
No
peace.
one cares about a happy heart when it comes time to stuff like that. I feel like I have to have my cap on. I feel naked without it.
What's it doing when you put it on? Makes you look.
Gives him a shadow. Right now, he's got a really white forehead.
I do. I have a really shiny forehead. I could set like Dan and kind of like be like half on and half
I'm
off.
gonna wear my glasses. They'll cover they'll put some shade on your forehead.
No, I'm just going to put this cap on. Everyone knows I don't have black eyes.
No, you don't look that bad. It's not bad.
And then listen,
I
people.
feel like I'm so close to the camera right now. Like I'm right up on it. Like I need to be
Well,
back
this
here.
is my camera over here, and
Yeah,
so
sitting sideways.
okay, you guys can stop voting for Kim already. I think it's over. That was a long time ago. Kim is the winner. We'll have round 2 a little bit later and see if Kim can hold on to this, and maybe we can have to take it to a tiebreaker. So I do want to talk to Daniel. I'm going to have to kind of skip right over you, Kim, and I want to talk to Daniel about some stuff, because supposedly in the stories that my dad tells, the story that your daughter tells, the stories that I tell, there's been a whole lot of misunderstanding. So I think that tonight we can talk about a story that no one knows. No one has heard this story ever. And I don't even know if you can or will remember this story. But listen to me. I want to show you these socks, this pair of socks. And on one of them, there's a letter D. On this sock, there's a letter D. And on this sock that looks very similar, there's a letter L. A letter D and a letter L. Does that bring back any memories to you? And can you tell me what memory?
I sure can.
Oh, you have a memory. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you have to tell it in complete detail, because folks here don't know the story.
Boy.
So
Okay.
you have 2 socks, very
Alright.
similar, but one on the toe has a big letter D.
So well, let me start by saying typically, when we were kids at Christmas time, we would get socks and underwear and stuff like that for Christmas, which I hate. Well, actually, I hated when I was a kid, but right now I wish somebody sent me some underwear and socks. I love it. But so anyway, my mom would, back then we didn't have a big variety of socks. They were just tall socks with stripes around the top.
Yeah, they all look
we
the
had.
same.
So mom would always put a matching or a marker on our socks. Your initials are mine. So this one particular, boy, I hope Lou ain't watching. This one particular night, there was a spot in Cleveland that everybody used to go to kind of do some parking and stuff like that.
The wigwam.
No, it wasn't
No,
Wigwam.
the golf course
So
after hours.
anyway, I was, romancing back then some poor little girl, and went down there to the parking spot. Well, I had to use the restroom, so I got out and I was going to use the restroom, and I look on the ground and there's this sock,
Disgusting.
and actually I think it was a couple socks put together, like down inside of the sock on the outside.
Yeah, they were rolled up. They
Yeah,
all they
rolled
rolled up.
and that sock had an L on it, and I knew that my brother had been there. Why he had socks all rolled up to make it look
Bigger.
bigger, but there was his sock. Now, what I did not do,
So it fell out of your pants?
These are too small to roll, first of all. Okay. There's nothing.
I just want to say
impressive
for the
about
record, I
that.
did not pick it up and bring it home,
Okay.
but
Now,
I did ask him about it later.
okay, so here is the real version of that story.
Mm-mm.
So there were some parts were true and some parts were not true. No, so that's true about when we were younger, mom would buy one set of socks and they looked the same. So she would put D for Daniel and L for Lester. And then it's also true, Daniel, that when we were going through high school, it was the era of was it the Rocky Mountains and kickers and all that stuff, Kim? Everyone were wearing tight jeans, okay? We all wore tight jeans. What
What's
are
that
you looking around
that little
for?
buzzing sound? You don't hear that?
It's the refrigerator.
Just your fridge.
Oh.
So everyone was wearing tight jeans.
Mhm.
And so
Rocky
I
Mountains.
didn't start this. I did not start this tradition, but everyone did it, including Daniel over there.
If you had to put something in your pants, you was the only one that did that I know, because I
Praise
didn't do
God,
it.
it wasn't a little thing of quarters.
Okay, so I played sports, so I knew that every guy, when you were changing their clothes, they took off their pants, pulled out their sock, and
What kind of people did you hang around with?
listen, I didn't start the darn tradition, but that's just what people did. And because
All the football players wear socks in there to make them
No.
look bigger.
Kim, this was like when we were wearing our jeans, like at school,
Oh.
and we're going to change into our football uniforms. And bottom line is that that's not really the point here. But Dan's right. There was this particular parking spot where everyone would take their sweethearts. And on one particular instance, I had to take out my sock before anyone knew I had a sock in there. And I tossed the sock, never knowing that it would ever come back to haunt me until Daniel goes to the same parking spot a couple of hours later and brings home my sock.
Y'all are so nasty.
He doesn't just tell me, hey, Lester, look what I found. He waits till we're having Sunday dinner. We're all downstairs eating Sunday dinner.
I don't remember.
You don't remember this? And then all of a sudden, Daniel comes downstairs and he has his sock in his hand and he tells the whole table.
If I remember it, I don't know what it was about. Like, so he found your sock somewhere.
He found my sock somewhere. So I had to explain to Mom why my sock was there. And I think I told her I got my feet wet. I was at the golf course. I got my feet wet. And so I just took my socks off and wore my shoes home with no socks. But that was kind of a fun story. And a funny story. No one thinks it's funny. I don't even think anyone over here is laughing. There's a few people that are laughing about it. But yeah, we did have Sunday dinner.
They're
And
all
Dan,
embarrassed for you.
Dan always made a
That was
point.
a nice move, Dan.
Dan, I had someone put the same little gaggy faces Kim made. Yeah, it's
That
fun.
was OMG. I think I pissed my pants.
I think I pissed my pants.
I can't read that far away, so I can't tell what anybody's saying.
You want to borrow my glasses, Dan?
No,
I
it's
throw them
okay.
on when I need them. And so, no, we have a lot of fun things like that. So that's a story that no one's ever heard. So now you've heard Dan's version, my version, pretty much match up for the
That
most
lady
part.
says she's embarrassed for you.
Don't be embarrassed for me. That was a long time ago. And
I never had that problem, by the way.
It sort of goes along with this not very happy under the seat situation that you got a while ago.
You just got a good heart, Les. You just got a good heart.
That's it.
I do have a good heart. And you know what? There are some people that would like that. And they would prefer a good heart over anything else, especially a surprise, Kim. People don't want to be surprised all the time, Kim. I just random surprise me. Anyway, Kim, what is your youngest memory with all of us? What is your youngest memory? You have anything that you can remember from that goes way back?
Probably her slapping us around when Mom and Dad would leave.
Kim did do that.
I just wanted y'all out of the house.
So you would
I don't-
babysit us. You babysat us early on.
I
Mom-
didn't slap you around. I used a wooden spoon.
Like Mom.
Yeah. Whenever Mom would leave, Kim thought she became Mom.
I broke a spoon on one of them one time. I went and hit it in the barn. I don't know why. I
That's
thought,
probably me. Y'all love to make me cry. Y'all did. Y'all love to make me cry back since I was a baby.
We would
Very
make Dan
sad.
cry. But what we loved about making Dan cry was the fact that we could manipulate him into believing
mhm,
that he was in trouble.
mhm.
Even though he didn't do anything wrong to get in trouble, we could make him think he was in trouble.
Or
And if you
going to
remember,
hell.
and then every time before Mom and Dad came
Yeah,
home,
Jesus was
he
upset
would
with him.
every time before Mom and Dad got home, before we were going to tell on him, he would get on his ground and he'd grab us like a football
And we
player, grab us
yeah.
by the legs.
We'd be
and
dragging
we
him.
would be dragging him across the yard or across
That
the
is
house.
true.
I'm telling on you, and you're going to go to hell. You're going to hell,
I
Daniel,
can't
for
stop
what you
beating him
did.
because I'm nervous
Just wait till
in front
Mom
of
and
him.
Dad find out. And Dan would just scream and cry and hold on to our legs as we.
If
Drug
I
him-
struggle today in life, guys, that's the reason from what I dealt with as a child. And it wasn't from my mom and dad, who were great parents. It was from my siblings.
Yeah.
It's funny when can you remember your first thought of all of us together? Because I can't, because we were always together. So everything is with all of us.
So
well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Well, no, I talk about this all the time that my first memory that I can remember of anything is when we used to have a single bed, single cab pickup truck. And Daniel was the baby. Kim, me and you would stand we would literally stand between I guess Tina was in a car seat.
Mhm.
Mom and Dad, Mom was holding Daniel, Tina sitting there in a car seat, and you and me would stand in front of the car seat right there in the window,
Yeah.
like little monkeys. And then when we got our first car, our actual, first sedan, you and me, and maybe all of us at this point would go into the back seat and we would lay in the back
Up by the window.
up by the window in the back seat.
In the back dash.
In the back, yeah. Is that called a dash? In that back dash by the window, we would actually lay there.
Mhm.
We'd take blankets and we would just hang out there, and that was our favorite spot to go.
Can't do that mess no more.
I think
No.
my earliest memory in life, if I truly have to tell y'all my earliest memory in life, I wasn't in school yet. And you and Tina and Kim all went down to catch the school bus. And at some point, Mom, I guess me and Mom heard all this commotion going on.
We
hollering and
almost
screaming.
got kidnapped.
And you and Tina were, running up that driveway, hollering and screaming. And she's like, "Where's your sister? Where's your sister?" To my Kim. And way down the driveway, Kim just, yeah, exactly. She just comes prancing up the driveway like it was no big
They were
deal.
probably after me.
Yeah, so that is true. So we were all at the bus stop, and y'all know we live way off the road. And so we're waiting for the bus way off the road. And Kim's probably out there flaunting around or having a low cut top on or something. And someone drives by and she probably flashed. I don't know what she did to make
I
this
didn't
guy.
flash people.
Whatever you did, some guy stops and begins to back up. So me and Tina were terrified. We thought we were going to be kidnapped and locked up in a cellar or something. So we turn around and we run, screaming and crying the way that any kid should.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
you were too prideful to run from this horrible man. You're going to walk up and press
We
all the
don't
way
know
up.
if he was horrible.
Why would he have hit his brakes and begin to back up like that, Kim?
Maybe
To
he-
ask for directions?
Maybe.
No.
Does this road go to Huffman?
He
Yeah.
was only 13.
Yeah. And the thing is, Kim was even too prideful to
How do you know I
run
was
when
13?
she was
I
in
wasn't in
imminent
school yet. I figured
danger.
I couldn't have been more than 5. Maybe it's 4. So maybe he was 12.
The
Acting-
bottom line
acting
is
like
you
they're
were
12 years
way
old.
too. Kim was always a lot older than she actually was. Kim, you acted older than you were, and that's probably comes from Mom letting you babysit all the time. You just thought you were an adult or something. But Dan, a lot of people want to talk about this particular story, and we have a lot of stories. All of us have stories of when Dad was a
I'm the
police officer.
oldest. He's the next. Tina, and then Daniel's the baby.
So there's a particular story about whenever Dad was a police officer here local, and this particular call that we got, it's a cop car story. In particular, it's
Well, it's not just a cop car story. It's a whole lot deeper than that.
well, yeah. So everyone would like to hear your version of that story because they've heard mine. They heard the truth. Now let's hear your version.
Okay, the truth. So Dad gets his call one night. You gotta think that things in Plum Grove were way behind time. So Dad didn't get calls when he worked in Plum Grove like over a radio or something. It was by telephone. So he got this call from the sheriff's department that there was this lady up the road, having some issues, whatever, sitting on the hood of her car. So Dad says, "Come on, boys, go with me." So we go out. Matter of fact, Dad had a pickup truck. That was his
Patrol car.
yes, police vehicle. So we get in it and we go up the road. It's less than a mile up the road, and there's this woman, a very large woman, sitting on the hood of her car. Not on the hood, on the roof of her car. She is wearing some real tall go-go boots, real tight jeans, a top that barely held her in.
So I will say, as of right now, our stories matched identical. So right now, there's been no exaggeration on either one of our parts. Go ahead.
Okay, so Dad was going to do the right thing and call somebody we didn't have cell phones back then either, guys. This is, we're in a different era. So we take her to the local city hall, which was our little police department that we had. And Dad was going to call somebody to come get this girl. Well, she was a little bit out of her mind and she couldn't give good phone numbers or this and that. And, so he's having trouble getting somebody on the phone to come and get her.
Just a friend or somebody.
Yeah. He didn't want to take her all the way to Liberty,
Right.
this and that. So in the meantime, since we can't get a hold of anybody, Dad's on the phone with the sheriff's department, and I guess they're going to send somebody out to get this girl. And at this time, this woman is sitting in the floor of the city hall. She's sitting in the floor,
See?
And there's some chairs that kind of wrap around a little bit, and me and Les are just sitting in them chairs. Dad's on the phone.
Y'all are making
And
fun of
Did
no.
Dad not tell us to watch her?
He probably said watch her, maybe. I don't know what, watch her. But anyway, she wasn't doing anything. She wasn't doing anything until. Now, look, this is your page, Jamie's page, whatever. Look, Lester knows how to agitate people. He's always been good at it. He's probably still good at it today. I'm not around him
Stir the
enough.
pot.
Yeah, he stirred the pot.
Come on.
So we're sitting there and we're like some Dr. Pepper or whatever, Well, he starts picking at this girl in the floorway. And he starts, instead of making her laugh or me laugh, and I'm like telling him, stop, he gets tickled at himself. So he almost spits some Dr. Pepper like up through his nose. He starts laughing at himself for the things that he's telling this girl. So he walks to the doorway of the city hall, and the door's wide open. Okay, the air, nothing had been on, so the door's wide open. He's standing at the door of the city hall, and he's trying to get his bearings back about him, to stop laughing or whatever. I'm just sitting in this chair watching her and him. Dad's still on the phone. Well, he turns around to come back in that door, and that girl stands up and bull rushed him, like bull charged him.
That part is true.
And tackled him like
out the door.
No, they were still they're still by the door of the city hall. Tackles him like a football player, and down they go. And then I spit Dr. Pepper out of my nose. It's getting comical now. And Dad's turning around, he's on the phone. You don't want like anybody to know, so he's kind of holding it. He's like, help your brother. So I'd get up, I don't know what I'm going to do, So anyway, I get this girl. I'm trying to pull her over. She's got Lester on top of her now, and they're going at it. And I'm sorry, Les, she's winning. I mean, I know she's big. You probably couldn't get her off over by yourself. I get it. So I'm trying to help. So then Dad throws us some handcuffs. Like, y'all handcuff her. Well, listen, it's harder to handcuff somebody than what you think it is, especially when they want to fight. And we didn't have police training of how to handcuff somebody. Anyway, all I remember is Dad finally had to come over there and help us. We got her handcuffed. The other police car finally showed up.
Say there was a car because she got in
She
the
kept
back
on.
seat.
He made her so mad she kept fighting. She's fighting everybody now. So they literally hog-tied her, hands behind her back and feet up to her hands, and put her in that patrol car. And then she got herself wedged in between the seats. She was trying to, maybe they put her in the car first, and then she kept trying to kick the door open. So then they hog-tied her.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the time they got to Liberty, whether they had to take the seats out of the police car because she had wedged herself down between them and could not get out.
So
y'all have a lot of police stories when Dad was in the sheriff's department.
we would go with Dad.
You went to New Mexico and is that the word, extradited?
Brought somebody back.
Yeah, brought him back.
But this particular story, Dan was pretty accurate, except for there was one major point he left out. I would have never sat there by myself, looking at her, trying to make her laugh.
Les.
I did look across her at you.
Okay, well, you may have been doing that, but still, nevertheless, she was picking at her.
No, I was making you laugh, and I would go, I would make faces at you, and you make them back at me.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
You were a kid. You wouldn't remember stuff like this.
I was in high school. You were in college.
Bottom line
Were y'all
is,
that old?
I don't know how old we were, but what I remember is that Dan and I would always make each other laugh on purpose at the most inopportune times.
Yeah, we did do that.
At church?
Yes, at
when
church.
People sang funny?
We would go to funerals and make each other laugh. And it would be like funerals of like really good people. And we'd be up there. We were pallbearers at a funeral, and we're sitting there making people laugh. Yes, we did, Daniel.
Remember that one church we
Look
went
at your face right now. You're lying right now. We would go to, we were out of control. I guess we were just kids who loved life.
Yeah, we did.
But this particular night, Dad had us helping him out, watching this lady. And I feel bad for the lady because I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody.
No.
But Dad was doing the right thing. We did try to give her the option to go just have someone come pick her up.
Have you ever thought that she might be a page follower now?
Well, she is.
If she is, then she knows that, yeah, I'm the guy who's going, and Dan's going to
I was never,
whatever face.
I would never make fish lips at her.
It was the reverse fish lip.
I don't even know what that is.
Yes, you do, Dan. You do too. And so we're making faces at each other, and it's probably true. I did probably speak.
Besides, if I ever
Dr.
make faces, somebody makes some hand gestures to go with them.
Yes, you would, Dan. So that's a funny
Yeah, he
story.
can't make faces.
Dan
He
can't
just
make
changes
faces.
his
You're
hand.
right. I'm so sorry. I forgot that part of the story. Dan
Not funny.
has never been able to make faces. Whereas all of us, one of y'all's phone is making us freeze. One of y'all's phones is going off.
Is
Not
it
mine.
mine?
Well, I feel
I don't
like
even
we're
think I brought
completely
mine in.
frozen. So I'm
My
going to take,
phone's not doing anything. Can we turn it off?
just take the Bluetooth off, or the signal or whatever, because we are completely frozen. Oh no! Your browser has lost connection, guys. If you're there, hold on. What does it say right there? I can't read it.
Your browser has lost connection to your camera. Make sure you have the right camera selected and close any other somethings.
I'm on airplane mode now.
I don't think it's mine.
What's wrong with our camera, Dan?
I don't even have Bluetooth on.
We're just sitting there.
We didn't do anything. You guys give us 1 second. They can hear us, but they can't see us.
Oh, they can hear us?
Dan, we got to press Command E. So we're back, but with the wrong camera. Are we back?
How do you know we're in there?
We're on this camera here now.
We're on the other camera now.
Well, look, I looked the right color.
Yeah, look how blurry Dan is.
Yeah.
Well,
Look how blurry Dan
my
is.
face-
Sorry, I
in
need
my-
to be probably blurred out anyway. It's all right.
I'm gonna see one thing if I can switch to the other camera, and if we
Maybe
can.
it's- there it is, but there I am.
All right, there we go. All right, is everyone okay with this right here?
We see you, but something.
All right, so
Better
we
pick.
are back. That was scary. I don't know how that happened, guys. We didn't touch a darn thing,
Mm-mm.
but it said that we had lost our signal for a minute, and that happens sometimes. So we also lost about 1,000 folks who were watching us, so they gave up on us. But we are back. I don't even know what we were talking about. Do y'all?
How many people are watching right now?
So we have 5,500 and something. I can't see quite
So we
How
had
small?
more than that while ago.
50,
Yeah, we
55,
were in the
32.
we were over 6,000. But so what happens is this is an app called StreamYard, and it takes all of your platforms, which is Facebook, YouTube, and pulls them all into
So
one.
you're live on all those things.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So we're live on all of these
That's
things.
cool.
So anyone says,
You've never
Lester,
done a
don't
live?
touch any buttons.
Haven't had a reason to do a live.
All right,
We're gonna do a
so
live with Levi.
yes, I
Yeah.
think that would be great. I
So
think
Levi
that would be a
just
great
does things.
story. All right, so at this point over here is going to be a chance for you guys to ask Kim and Daniel some questions, y'all. You're going to love this. You may love it, you may hate it. Only join our live if you have a question for Kim, Daniel, or myself, okay?
That's rude.
No. Watch. I'm going to invite them in, okay? This is awesome. I love doing this. I'm going to invite. I'm going to copy that, okay? Watch this. This is going to be fun. You ready for this? This is something that I do. No one else does this.
Turn off the ceiling.
Command
light,
V.
It says
Turn off the ceiling light.
the ceiling.
Okay,
fan
there
light.
you go, my friends. There's your opportunity. If you want to come in and ask any of us a question, now is your opportunity to come by and do that. What light do we want to turn off?
Kim's kids.
Hold on, Kim. It's going to be real people.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're going to have
Oh.
real people come in. So let's
Nancy.
first of all say hello. Give me 1 second, ma'am.
Hey, Nancy.
Nancy, can you hear us?
I certainly can. How are you, Lester, Kim, and Dan?
Good.
Hi,
We're doing
Nancy.
well, Nancy. We're hoping that you're doing okay. You have a question for either one of these hoodlums over here?
I do. I heard on Dan when he was with Bree talking
Okay.
that he worked in New England sometimes.
Oh, no. The East Coast, not New England.
Okay, so East Coast isn't the New England part
Oh,
then.
no, I'm sorry. That's our United States East Coast.
Yeah, that's New England.
Hey,
Okay, because I'm from Connecticut, and when I
Okay,
heard
not
East
that
Coast,
way.
I'm thinking you there.
Not England.
I'm sorry.
The East
No.
Coast is New England.
Okay,
Dan.
I'm sorry. I wasn't
Some
thinking.
of it. Some of
Gulf
it.
Yeah.
Coast,
No,
maybe.
I'm sorry. North Carolina, South Carolina.
Okay, so the East
Yeah.
Coast is not quite as
Georgia.
far north as
Yeah.
New
Yeah,
England
not
states.
that far north.
Yeah, it's furthest north.
Oh,
Furthest north
okay.
is
So you're both right. I don't
DC.
really know how you would break that down. Now, DC maybe is DC New England-ish?
No,
No, it's not. Okay. So
No.
tell us, Nancy, what is the New England? Now, I know it's the 13 colonies, right? Is that
Right.
what's considered the New England states?
yeah, you got the Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, Connecticut. I can't remember them all, Lester.
Okay, no, I get it.
New
So
York.
it does work on that coast, just not quite that
Yeah,
far
not
north.
that far.
Yeah.
Or
I-
maybe coming to Cape Cod. We talked about it.
We talked about it.
Cape Cod's beautiful.
Not
Massive.
next summer. Remember we just
We
talked
did.
about
Yeah,
it.
we talked about it.
So you got to go, Kim, to Nantucket
Oh, okay.
because I worked there for a summer, and it is gorgeous, but it's real expensive.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
That's what I've heard.
Well, they better start saving up. Nancy, thank you for joining us and for saying
Thank you,
hi.
Nancy.
All
Thank
right.
you. Have a great night.
We'll
You
talk
too.
to you later, Miss Nancy. All right. Who's up next? Oh, Denise, how are you?
Hey, Denise.
Hello. Hi. My
Yeah.
question is for Sister Kim.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
I am so impressed with how you adapt to fixing a lot of different things and helping your dad. How did you learn those skills? And I'm glad to see that Bree is following.
From Dad.
What?
So, hold on,
You learned your stuff from Dad too, and so did
I
you.
taught you a lot since then.
And
man.
HGTV.
Kim also watches
Oh, yeah.
those TV channels that teach you stuff.
Yeah.
That's her TV stuck on those channels.
I
That's
can
all
tell
she
you
Awesome.
the first time I had to build something by myself was kitchen cabinets.
Kim,
In my
why are you
first house.
screaming? Is she
I'm
screaming, Dana? You
Am I
good?
Yeah.
screaming?
Is
No.
she screaming? No.
You're fine.
And Dad was supposed to come build them for me and just kept forgetting and busy, and I built them myself. And that was the first thing I'd ever done by myself.
I think you're awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
Thank you.
Since then, Kim has built a lot of stuff
Yeah,
for a
lots of
lot of us. She has.
Yes.
If you ever need something built, so here's the problem with the Sister Kim, and I love her. I do. I love her. but Kim can never stop building. And Dan, I think would agree with this. Kim, so I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just gonna hope she doesn't say anything or she doesn't pinch me like Jamie does. But Kim will have a house and she builds a porch, and that porch becomes a room, which needs a porch. And that porch becomes a room,
No.
which needs a washroom, which becomes a
But hold on,
porch.
this is what I like about her. This is what I like more than anything. Well, not that I like, because I actually don't like it. But she'll start on that porch, and then she's got to start on a chicken coop, and then she's got to start on something for her goats, and then she'll do a little bit more on her porch, and then she needs to do this over here. She's got like 8 projects at one time, always going.
And the last thing, even though Kim is really, really good at doing most things alone, I feel really bad for Daniel, because Daniel is Kim's go-to. Whenever she can't lift something or move something or needs a big job done,
Or build something.
it's Dan. Can you come help me? So poor Dan works a pretty busy job, travels a lot, and gets home and go help Kim. And so
Wow.
Kim has this drive to build and create, but sometimes she can't quite do all that she would like to do.
It's better than having a real man at home.
Oh, says who?
She's been my go-to, so
Yeah.
We've all gone to Kim. Denise, that's a great question and a really sweet compliment. So thank you for doing
Thank
that.
you. Thank
right.
you. Bye.
bye-bye.
Okay, we're moving along. Y'all like doing this?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I know all of us on our lives have gone by and answered questions, but I love bringing people
Oh,
in
yeah.
because it's nice to see who you're talking to, you know?
Yeah.
They're
So,
all waiting.
In saying, I know they're all waiting.
Heather.
So Heather, we're coming to you. Hi, Miss Heather.
Hey, one love.
All right.
What does that
I'm
mean?
the one that always says one love to all the Morrows.
Okay.
One love.
That's cute.
Yeah. All the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. What is your most embarrassing moment of Lester?
Do I?
Dan and Kim.
Well, obviously, by me wearing socks in my pants during high school must be pretty darn embarrassing. I didn't realize it at the time, but whatever.
Oh, Kim. So this is
And Kim, I love what you do with Levi. That's awesome. I'm a special needs. I have dyslexica and I have PTSD. And I take care of my 87-year-old grandma.
So you
And I
have-
started a YouTube channel with Hanging with Heather and Chronicles. And I got 35 subscribers and I'm happy with that.
Hey,
Yeah.
you have to start somewhere. With
But I love my animals and I love you guys and I look forward to all your videos every day. They help
You're
me.
not gonna cry, Heather, are you?
That's okay.
A little bit. I'm sensitive.
We're all criers here. You're gonna have all of us cry.
crybabies. Don't cry, because we'll cry.
We'll cry right along.
But
with
I just love all your videos and I watch all of you guys.
Thank you.
Bless you. Miss
And I
Heather.
love you guys. And it's one love. Because if I don't say one love after saying something, it means I really didn't care about that person.
All right.
So I say one love because you can care about something and not give a F about something in the same sentence.
That's
That's right.
true.
And so if I don't say one love to you, I don't mean you didn't mean nothing to me.
All right.
So that-
One love, Heather.
One love.
Okay. That was sweet. That was real sweet. All right, going over here. We're moving along. You waving? You still waving at Heather? Heather, we
I
still
think
see
she-
you.
I think-
Okay, here we go. Hey, you're on
Elisa.
mute, Miss Elisa. Yeah, you go. Is it Elisa
Hi.
or Eliza? Is it Elisa or Eliza?
It's Elisa. Hi.
Elisa. Hey,
guys.
Elisa.
How you
Hi,
doing?
Lisa.
I'm
What do
doing
you got?
well.
Got a question for one of us?
I have a question for all three.
Oh, boy.
What is your favorite family Christmas tradition as a family?
I would think that everyone's probably going to say just the fact that we do things as a family.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
think just, we used to meet at my grandpa's before he passed away, and we carried that on to my grandma's, and then she passed away, and then mom and dad moved that to their house, and so
Oh no! Look, we are. I think that y'all lost us again. Can you see us, Lisa?
We can hear you. We can hear
Oh
you.
my goodness! What's wrong with my
I
computer?
haven't touched anything. But
I
anyway, I
haven't
think
touched
just the fact
anything.
that we're all together, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful tradition that we've kept on with the family of getting together, because so many
Mhm.
families don't do that anymore.
Right.
So if you'll hold on, we're gonna do what we did a minute ago and try to fix this. We'll be right back, okay? Give us 1 second. Guys, I am so sorry. I've never had this problem before.
Oh. Awkward.
Then we'll look at Jack's.
I'm gonna go put on the shirt.
Y'all, what are y'all still doing here? What are y'all still doing here? Hold on a second. Why are you all still here? Everyone left me. Hold on, I gotta change one thing. It won't let me. Hold on, I want. Okay, can everyone hear me? Can everybody hear me now? Listen, I am so embarrassed, and I'm also more embarrassed that you guys are still waiting. I had no idea you're going to still be here. Daniel had TikTok on his phone, and I'm going to tell you guys something. Maybe you guys do TikTok, maybe you don't, but TikTok is the reason that we've crashed. Every time that we've crashed, it's because someone has TikTok running, either Jake or Brienne or Ellie or whoever it is, and TikTok is anyway bad. Bailey, you ready to talk to me? Hold on, let's bring Bailey on. Hi. I can't hear you. Are you on? Is it your volume or is it mine? Can you hear me? Bailey, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me, Bailey? No? All right, can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I am going to figure out what's wrong. Bailey, I think it's on your end. I think it's on your end. You still can't hear me? Guys, this might not work. Bailey, I'm not going to leave you. I'm just going to try something. Crystal,
Hey,
can
yeah,
you hear
I'm
me?
here.
Hi,
I can hear
Crystal.
you fine.
Okay.
Bailey,
Tell Bailey.
look at your settings and see if your microphone is on mute.
So Bailey, talk, say something. I don't think Bailey can hear me
Your
either.
microphone. Mute.
Look at my mic.
Okay.
Look at this mic. This is what you need, Bailey. You need one of these.
Tell her mute her. Point at her when you show her the microphone. Point at her and cover your mouth to see her microphone's on mute.
I don't think it is though. Bailey, we're not able to hear you, love. I'm so sorry.
It might be because, like, on my screen where I'm talking to you, down on the bottom it shows a little microphone, a little camera. And if she accidentally muted or clicked that microphone, it would have muted it.
She's saying give her 1 second. She says give her 1 second. We're going to figure it all out. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm so embarrassed. My brother had his darn TikTok going, and
things happen.
It crashed the entire life. Hold on. What is she saying? What does that say?
Thank you for helping me.
Is it working? Oh, she's still saying 1 second. Is that the funniest thing?
Yes, it is.
Crystal, thank you for all of the messages and stuff that you've sent me and all of the things that we've talked about. Okay, what is
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm trying to read that.
I'm going to see if mine can show up. My pen isn't writing well.
Thank you for helping me through something. Say it one more time. Me?
One more time. One more time.
Tell me again. I'm going to hide
one more time.
Crystal, I'm going to hide you just for 1 second so I can make you bigger. All right, I have to make you bigger. I need you to be bigger. How do I make you bigger? Nope. That just switched sides. I'm going to hide. Okay. So I just told Bailey that she has a beautiful light that shines through the hard times that she's dealing with, and that she's saying thank you doesn't say enough. And now I'm saying that I feel like we are all blessed to have heard her story. There. All right. I'm sorry we don't have microphone set up, Bailey, but we will go ahead and move on to other folks. But thank you, and we love you, and God bless you. Okay. Oh, I can do this. I know that little thing right there. Ah! Oh my God, she's wearing her I'm a Survivor hoodie. Oh, Bailey, that really that just touches me. Oh, that's beautiful. Bailey, send me your email when you get a chance. Email me. You can find my email on the, she can't hear what I'm saying. I'm going to see if we can find a way to get her and her family some help. This is beautiful, and I'm there. Lester's Place at yahoo.com. That's good. Good. Okay. We'll see you soon. Okay. Bye. All right. That was really sweet. Crystal, I'm bringing you back in. Crystal, you ready?
Yep. Hello.
Crystal, wasn't that sweet?
Yes, it was. And I have a feeling she knows somebody that's in the hospital right now that needs her help too.
So that's like the psychic stuff telling you that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if she
I'm getting the feeling of being in a hospital bed and pain.
If she does,
when I see a spirit, few things I ask them. I ask them who they are and how they died. And that's kind of a little bit of a danger for me, but it helps me to understand them better. And like I told you with the spirits on your river, that some of them had died by getting smashed by logs, it's because I felt it.
Hey, Crystal, you want to hear something scary?
What?
So I was gifted a book by a sweet lady named Linda, and it talked a whole lot about the history of Polk County. That's the county. And do you know that, I can't tell you the exact year, but in the maybe the early 19 somethings, when the logging industry came to that part of the country, and they set up a logging mill on the far down the Trinity River, and they hired the Indians, the Native Americans, to float their logs.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have, I guess they had the white men or whoever would cut the logs, they would fall the timber, use the mule teams to pull them to the river, and they used the river to transport their logs. but they would use the indigenous people to navigate the logs down the river, around through the currents. And so for you to say that you feel like maybe some of those people have lost their life on the river by being smashed by logs, I don't think it was from falling trees as much as possibly in that river, maybe getting tied up or however they would do it.
When they were doing this, number one, they had people in canoes that would ride along with, you know, kind of on the edges of the logs. So if somebody fell in, they could catch them.
Yeah.
But quite frequently, somebody would fall in and two logs would come and either smash them in the chest or smash them in the head. Wow. And I felt that from a couple of them. And then there's the one little girl I told you about. She was attacked. I don't know if it was a snake or a wild dog that jumped out of nowhere. She was attacked in the stomach by this thing, and it killed her. And then there's another one that, if you take a look, okay, here's where my chest is.
Yeah.
If you go right on the right side of your back, about an inch away from where the spine is, it feels like somebody was either stabbed or shot there. And these people who had these indigenous people doing this with the logs and stuff,
yeah,
they broke promises. They lied and broke promises.
Yeah, the entire town dissolved, and because of that.
That's why the Native Americans wanted that ceremony done, which is an untraditional ceremony, because they wanted that spirit box, or what I call promise box, to sit on your land, so anybody who joined you for that ceremony could see it and remember the promise. See, if I die and I'm a nasty person in life, like some of the colonials, that's what they call white people in their spirit. They call them the colonials. There is one colonial man there that is nasty, and they're protecting you from him. And if I die and I'm nasty, I might be afraid to cross over, and so I'm staying nasty in spirit life. And your Halloween story, I had wrote you an email and told you just before that there was a man who was nasty who died on that property. And his name either started with a B or a W. And he was nasty when he died. He had something in life. He was always nasty. He had something in life that mellowed him out for a while, but he really wasn't that kind. And he lost that. Now, if it was a daughter or something else, but he was the type of guy, it's my land, my vehicle, my wife, my daughter, and I'll do whatever I want with them. You know, that kind of person?
Yeah.
That's the type of person he was. And the town paid no mind to him. And when he died, first week went by and they were like, oh, we hadn't seen him. Oh, that's a good deal. Second week went by and they were like, maybe we should check on him. And they went up and checked on him, and he had been dead for a while.
Oh, that's the saddest thing, when you die and no one even knows it.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
So whether or not there actually is a history of that in that place, it's strange that your Halloween story followed that line.
I had no idea. We just treated that as we went along.
Yeah, but about a week before you created that, that's what came to me. And the Native Americans are protecting you from him, but they want your welcome because it makes them stronger to protect you, and it makes the nasty spirit feel weaker, so it'll leave you alone.
Okay, Crystal, we're going to have to talk more about this later. We got a lot of folks who want to get in and say their piece. Thank you for that, Crystal, and for your
blessing to you, and
Crystal.
Bring you all the good luck you can get.
Thank you,
And
man. That's kind of you.
just pay attention to what's going on because they are protecting you. That's why your arm didn't get pulled off.
Huh.
The little girl and one of the Native Americans came and calmed the cow. The bad spirit spooked it.
Huh.
The little girl and the Native American came and calmed the cow before it could rip your arm off.
Well, that's interesting. Well, Crystal, let me let you go. There's a lot of folks who want to say hi, and I want to make sure I get to as many as I can. So
Okay.
Thank you, Crystal.
Love you all and blessings to you all.
Bye, Crystal. Okay. Hey, Sarah, how you
Hey,
doing?
Lester.
How are you?
I'm good. I was going to ask Kim a question, but she's not there.
It
So,
was Uncle Dan's TikTok messed everything up.
it's always those little brothers.
If I had known, listen, I didn't know you guys are still around. I went ahead and just I had closed
Because
it
we're
all.
I'm a Survivor diehards.
I closed it all out, and I'll tell you what, it was Ann Dale, my friend Ann, that messages Lester. There's still like a lot of people who are waiting for you to come back. And I'm like, Ann, I thought I was done. I went ahead and closed the computer and everything.
The ones that were waiting backstage, we were just talking to each other. They're like, "Is he coming back?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm waiting until the live quits."
Oh no, I am so sorry. What was your you want to ask me a question to ask her, or
Well, I was gonna ask him, but I'll ask you. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite sibling?
Hold on, you want to call her?
No, you can just tell me who your favorite sibling is.
So me and Daniel were best friends growing up. We were a couple of different years apart in age, but we shared the same clothes. We shared the same girlfriends often, not at the same time, but we were best of friends. We did a lot of stuff together. As we've gotten older and got our families, he does his family thing. I do my family thing now. So we don't spend as much time anymore, but I do know that if I need something, I go to Daniel immediately, and vice versa, and we're always there for each other. But at the same time, I can go to Kim for anything as well. And then Tina doesn't live here. She's not too far away, but she doesn't have as much to do with the family. So I don't see Tina as much. But Tina, I get along great with all of them, and they all get along great with me. There are absolutely no drama that exists between us four kids. None whatsoever. And so I think I'm blessed for that. Yeah.
You're lucky. I have two brothers, both of them older than me.
Uh-huh.
My oldest one I get along with.
Okay.
I mean, more than my younger one, but I could still call my other one, and if I needed something, he would help, and he does. It's just that we will never be super, super close.
You can just tell. Yeah, Jamie's the same way. When we talk about our siblings, she has some that she's closer to, and some that. I don't mean it's in a mean way, but if she even says this, if she was to die, then she don't think they would even know. They would not, they just would not. They're not the kind of check up on her, see how she's doing. You lucky to get a Christmas or birthday wish, or greeting. So
yeah, my husband's family is like that. He's on his dad's side. People will be in the hospital for 2 weeks before you find out, or somebody's dying of cancer and in the hospital on hospice, and then you just find out. Yeah, it's so weird because that's not my family. I mean, at least we know when something's going on, but I just will never be like, I don't want to say I'm not close with my middle brother, but just that's a
shame. But I'm reading the comments. A lot of people are saying that that's very similar to their situations. They don't talk to all their siblings, but no, all four of us get along great. Tina's not here as much. She will come to an occasional thingamajig, but she's also a school teacher, so she and I contact each other a lot about teaching stuff, and so we all have connections, things that we share differently, and so we all have our own different little wires that connect us.
My whole family is full of teachers. My oldest brother is a science teacher, and the hockey coach here. And my sister, his wife, is a math teacher. And my other sister-in-law, she was an English teacher, but she's now the principal.
Oh, wow.
And then my father-in-law was a history teacher. So for 30-something years. So we have teachers all over.
For sure. That's awesome. So it's a lot of you have a lot of pressure on you you can't lack in any area because someone's going to correct you on everything, I bet.
No, they don't too much, but my kids were always lucky because they always had somebody to go to if they needed help with any subject. So.
Good, yeah. Well, lucky you. All right, well, it's nice talking to you, Sarah. Thank you for
too.
sticking around, and I'm really sorry that we lost everybody.
No, thanks for coming back because we were going to wait until the live ended.
I feel horrible. Y'all are still waiting.
No, don't feel bad. No, don't feel bad. All right, see ya.
Bye, Sarah. Oh my goodness.
Hey!
I am so sorry. I'm going to I'm going to just let everybody know when it's their turn how sorry I am, because I really thought we had crashed and it was over and you all had gone on to, well, I know, but I thought y'all would have gone on to do other things, and I was
doing other things, but I got into the backstage and then I was like in. So I had to wait, and then you came back.
It's awesome to see you.
Hey,
and,
hey, how you doing? I've been watching you forever. Well, for 2 years since Corona.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I know this is not what you want to talk about, but I will just say that when Lana is the lady that was able to find a lot of the videos that I couldn't find, and she sent me some stuff that I'd kind of forgotten about that was during the era of the Corona, the shutdown, all of the lockdown and everything. And it's crazy the amount of growth that our page got, not just our page, but all of the internet people's, the other farmers that I talked to, because people were home and they had more time and they found ways. They were tired of watching the news. And so they went to the internet and they found, and so believe it or not, as crazy as it sounds, we were doing good before the pandemic, but the pandemic gave a lot of our pages a boost. And if that's the craziest thing, but I hate to say that we all suffered and struggled through it. We all lost good people, but for the page, I mean, you and I would have never met had it not been for the pandemic and you being home.
Right. Well, I was working, but
But from home, you had more time.
Yeah, I'm a nurse, so I had to work.
Oh. Yeah.
I know, but I found peace watching your stuff, so it made me feel better.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't want to take all your time. What were you going to say? Tell me, talk to me. Tell me your story. Tell me your story, Jen.
My story. I don't have a big story. I'm just a nurse, and I just work, and that's my life. And I want to move to Florida. Maybe my sister just moved down to Florida, and I miss her. But my parents are here in Ohio. I'm in Ohio.
Yeah. Okay.
Near what's his name? Sean. Near
okay.
Sean.
Yeah.
So I have to go find him at a craft show one of these days.
There you go. I think.
But
show's listed.
Yeah, I wanted to see. Can you have Kim give those lima beans recipe? Those lima beans that you like, and she brought you lima beans.
I remember. Yes, Kim.
Well,
cooked.
Me too. And I don't know how to make them, but I was gonna ask her, but she's gone.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. Now, I don't know exactly what Kim does, but do you use a crock pot with yours, or do you fast cook them?
I don't do it. I need a recipe.
All right. Well, you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you buy the lima beans in the bag.
Yeah.
Right, not in a can.
Okay. I'm going to write this down.
And then you have to do you know what a ham hock is?
Yeah. Ham hock.
Okay, so you buy you some ham, or you can buy some sausage, or you can buy whatever your favorite meat is, but I would say a stronger flavored meat instead of a light flavored. And you're going to put all that into your crock pot and let it slow cook the entire day.
With the beans, like they're still hard?
Yeah, well, you know what? A lot of folks will soak them overnight if they want to cook them, have them earlier in the day. But if you put them in a crock pot on low, and you put that ham or that sausage or bacon, and you put them in there with the hard beans. They're hard as a rock, right? And you just put them on low and put the lid on that crock pot and put some salt and pepper. And then if you have any other kind of little spices that you like, and then you let them cook all darn day.
Oh, so it's just like beans and ham.
When you come in, well, yeah, they're beans. And then
they're lima beans. I thought they looked creamy when you ate it.
So listen, this is going to sound dumb to a lot of people, but have you ever heard that some things are better when you reheat?
Yeah.
So lima beans, when they're first coming out of the crock pot, they won't be as creamy. But whenever you take them out and they cool, and like Kim did, and she had them in the fridge overnight, and then she brought them the next day, and I reheated them. They're creamier.
Okay. Sweet. Well, I guess I could have probably figured that out.
No, well, I'm glad you asked. I'm surprised I could tell you that. Yeah, so we're big on that kind of stuff around here. And then, what do you eat your lima beans with? You have a special side?
I don't know. I've never eaten that. I've only eaten them like vegetables, like just lima beans and butter or something.
Yeah, we don't do vegetables around here very much, but we like cream potatoes or macaroni and cheese, or they go great with lima beans.
Cornbread.
And you can buy big limas or the small limas.
Oh.
But hey, just FYI, any of those beans that you see at the store can be cooked the exact same way.
Yeah, I do beans and ham, like navy beans.
Okay. Oh, so yeah. No difference. There's not really much of a difference. Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone's saying don't forget to add water.
I got it. I wouldn't have forgot.
Yeah, add water. So anyway.
Well, that's exciting. I was going to show you my dog. I had him out. Did you see him?
No, show me.
He passed away a long time ago, but he's still my baby.
So was he a Maggie type?
Yeah, his name's Remy Martin.
Remy Martin, okay.
Yeah, he died 10 years ago.
Jen, did you email me about this or not?
No.
That name sounds super familiar.
I said it in the comments.
Oh, so maybe that's why.
Oh, because you have a relative named Remy Martin.
So he passed away. Remington had a stillborn baby. That's my sister Tina had a stillborn baby. And complications there at the end. I don't know all the details, but I just know that it was a stillborn. And we did bury Remington over here. We had a regular funeral and everything. And I don't know if you saw the particular video, or maybe it was a live I was doing, but the church kids were playing soccer, and I guess they were just playing. They kicked the ball and they they had a little angel ceramic or
that's what I saw.
Yeah, and so that's why they broke it and they just left it and ran off. So I've had to close off the cemetery to the kids for a while.
I mean, it is kind of important.
Yeah, I know with Uncle Raleigh just passing, and then there's too much stuff over there for kids to play with and tinker around with, and so we just told the pastor we're going to close it off for a little bit.
Well, it's a good name, and I had a good dog too, like your Maggie. So I felt bad for you. And cried and all that stuff. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking. And I feel honored that so many people who never actually met Maggie loved Maggie through the videos, because and then isn't it crazy that I never really made a Maggie video? She was like the co-star in every video, yet I never made a Maggie video. And I made videos of every other animal and doing everything that they do. And Maggie was kind of always there. And I guess I just assumed she would always be there.
Well, she was always there. That's why you didn't have to spotlight her, because she was just part of you. So,
yeah. Hey, well, it's a pleasure talking to you, Jen.
Thanks for the recipe. Thanks for putting me on, everybody. Hi.
You'll have to let us know how it goes, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, here we go. Moving along. Stacy, how are you?
Hi, Lester. How are you?
Hey, you better be careful. If you were my age doing all that, you could probably have a stroke or heart attack or something.
Sorry.
How are you doing?
Yeah, wonderful. I think I'm the only female in Jersey that says sheesh.
Oh, no. It's rubbing off on you.
Sheesh.
That's awesome. Well, I would love it if you would make a little video of you saying sheesh, and I would like to hear that Jersey accent, or you can do it right now if you want to. Can you think of a scenario where you can say sheesh?
Oh, with my daughter. Sheesh, Mary Rose. Come on.
And what does she say? Mom, that's a bad word. No, it's not. That's what all Texans say.
She loves you guys now. She used to call me crazy years ago. She's like, Mom, what are you watching?
Oh, no.
Just as obsessed now. You guys have helped me through so much, especially in the last 2 years, and I can never, oh God, I'm going to start crying. I can never thank you enough for what your videos have done.
Hey, I don't mean to get you emotional, but do you want to share with us some stuff that's happened?
I just, years ago, I went through a really hard time, lost my brother, And then 2 year, then for a couple of years, I struggled, with alcohol for a little bit. And I finally got myself in a great place, and I'm just blessed. And I've been sober for a long time now. And you guys were just every day that I need to smile, you were there.
Oh my gosh.
Rough
So
time.
that blessing kind of works both ways, right? I've talked about this, and it's embarrassing to talk about. It really is. But I think that even last night when Jamie and I were live, I said to, Jamie talks to people all day, every day. And I don't know what level of friendship they are with her, but, it could be just simple coworkers or, colleagues or acquaintances, but she's always talking to somebody. And I talk to nobody. And I'm not trying to feel sorry for myself. I'm not. But I talk to nobody all day long, nobody. And so I find myself talking to these darn animals, maybe Jake, maybe Ben, that's my little helpers if they're around. But I tell you what, I really enjoy going to doing a live. And so this is what I really like to do, talk. And, but I also love it when people share their stories, because it's not fair that I share all of my ups and downs and ins and outs and quirks and hang-ups, and I don't know much about everybody else. So I love the fact that you were open enough to let us know that, hey, you've dealt with some alcohol issues. Yeah. And you fought your way through it. You probably, like everyone else, you took one day at a time and you just found your way. You probably still have those demons that sometimes were there and try to pull you back in, and you have to find ways to be strong, to stay away from all that stuff.
I have much more power now. And like I said, being a part of your channel and your family just helps. My husband, like, I was the same way. I don't really, have that many friends, this and that. Yeah. And I'll be like, Lester this, Jamie that, or Trudy, Moo. My husband's like, who the hell are you talking about?
Who the hell is this Lester guy? Where is he?
Oh no, never. He's starting to slowly. I know he watches them when I watch them.
So I know I am completely stereotyping, but I don't need some guy with some Adidas jumpsuit with some gold chain.
Oh no, not my husband. Oh no.
Well, I picture
Jersey. He's more of a Jersey hick. He's a Jersey redneck.
Oh, I didn't know y'all had those. I just pictured Jersey boys being like Jersey, like the little, what they call the wife beater T-shirt.
Yes.
Jimmy.
I live on the Jersey Shore, but
Jim Tannen Laundry, GTL. That's it's not really like that.
Yes, he's not. We're more by we're by the Jersey Shore, but he's more of my redneck. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Stacy, you're a beautiful person. Your light does shine, and I can see it, and I see it in your smile and your glow. So bless you, and thank you for sharing your story with me and everyone else who's watching right now. And there's a lot of support for you. I'm reading the comments, and people are. Oh, so where are you from, Stacy? You said Jersey. Are you from Jersey?
Sure. Yep. I'm about, from what everybody sees on TV, about 20 minutes from Seaside.
There you go. So when you get a chance, go back and read some comments, because there's a lot of people being very kind to you in the comments over here.
I definitely will. And thank you, Jamie, and your whole family so much. Always bring a smile, tears, no matter what. I feel like I've always been a part of it.
Thank you. Let me ask you a question. This is kind of personal. Do you ever watch the Longhorn Lester channel?
All the time.
Oh, you do?
First, I watch I'm a Survivor, then Longhorn Lester, and then Suits to Boots, and then Jake, of course.
Did you see Miss Pat with her skunk? Yeah, you watched that one yet? Was that the funniest video? I don't want to talk about it right now, but there was a lady who emailed, and I had mentioned on the live a couple of weeks ago, we were doing this live back and forth about the Longhorn Lesters is now on Facebook. And I said, I don't understand why no one's jumping on that page. And she wrote me, and I love the conversation, and because I love dialogue. You don't have to agree with me, for Christ's sake. Sheesh, we can disagree. But she said, Lester, I'm just one who refused to go to the Longhorn Lester page, but I don't mind telling you why. And so I was intrigued. I'm like, okay, tell me why. Why is it that you have one page with how many people we have, and another one can't seem to get nothing going? And then she said that she found the page after Harvey. She fell in love with the sanctuary, the rescue, the animals. And she said it always bothered her when she saw our goats here were having babies. Even when Annie got pregnant, Annie, who was a rescue, we allowed her to get pregnant, and have a baby. And she goes, she's always kept her mouth quiet about stuff like that because it's, she didn't want to be what she called a peepat, which is cute. But she says there's no way she's going to go to a channel of the same guy who on this page says we responsible this and we don't do this and we don't do this and we don't do this. Then that same guy over here, yeah, we're going to breed our longhorns and any bulls we're going to sell or trade to bring in more heifers. And so it was, and I felt bad. And then just now talking to Uncle Dan, my brother, I says, Dan, why don't you do this? Why don't you have a page? And so he was real open and he says, listen, he goes, Jake, which is his son, he likes to hunt, fish, and trap. Those are his passions. But he says when Jake made his page, he was hoping that you guys would accept him for hunting, fishing, and trapping. But every video he's made of him hunting, fishing, or trapping, he gets just torn apart because y'all only want to see him playing with that big galoot move or doing something with the pigs or doing something nuts and bolts around, something off around here. And so Dan says, I don't think that I'll be able to start because no one's going to want to see that side. And so I get it, man. I get it. So when you say that you do watch both channels, why? Why would you watch both channels? If you fell in love with I'm a Survivor, why would you also watch Longhorn Lesters when they're not really the same? Or do you think they're the same?
I think you make it the same. You love your animals the same at either place. And what you made Longhorn Lesters into is just beautiful. And you put blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh,
I mean,
so
I probably build a fence
and
just from watching you.
So you just like the characters and you fall for the characters, not so much.
No, even like I said, I could probably build a fence now because of you.
Nobody watches me to learn stuff now, Stacy. I would say that I was joking with Daniel and Jason. We group text a lot, and I made that video a couple of days ago about the where I kind of made. I don't know if you even saw the video. Where I made some not jokes about their channels, but how redneck and how ragtag we are compared to other internet pages. And we were joking about it. And then I forgot who said it. Probably Daniel said that, well, we all know Lester's only here for entertainment purposes only, even though he does the same stuff that we do every day and all day. And that's the whole thing about it. It's true. I get up there and I work as hard as anybody. But if I turn my channel into a do-it-yourselfer channel, this is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to. No one would watch that. They want to see animals misbehaving. Hey, looky here.
Oh, hello, Fiona.
Baby, she wants to go TT. She wants me to let her outside. She's really smart.
I got a little guy right here.
Oh, hello. What's that little one's name?
That's Goosey, because he honks like a goose. He honks like your gooses. He could be part of the flight school.
That's beautiful. Well, Stacy, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm going to get a few more people on, if you don't mind.
Nope, you too.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure, and thank you for shining your light and for sharing your story with everybody. I appreciate that.
Thank you guys for being great.
Night. Okay. Hello. Uh-oh, where did you go?
Hey.
Hi, Aline. How are you?
Very well. It's been so long since I wanted to speak to you.
I'm sorry you've been on hold for so long.
Am I lucky number 13?
You are number 13. You win a prize. I don't know what I have to offer.
I'll take that beaver hat that you have.
Oh, you like that one right there?
Oh, that would be great.
You don't want that hat. You would want a I'm a Survivor or a Longhorn Lester hat.
I think the Longhorn Lesters for sure.
Now, hold on. Are you a hat person? Do you actually wear caps or you want to hang it up somewhere?
Well, it's funny you say that. I was checking today, Google, of course, Dr. Google for me.
Yeah.
And because us, Canadian, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Canadians don't realize how much heat you lose from your head.
Yeah. Oh,
So
you
when
want
I
the
was
bird hat.
Yeah, so when I was watching you with the beaver hat, you know, you can lose up to 45% of body heat.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why we have to wear hats. Even now, it's like 32 all the time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that's why.
So what part of the world are you in? Where you
I was born in Quebec City, but for my job, I had to move to Ottawa, the capital of Canada.
Okay. So
And
do I pick up a little bit of a French accent, or is that
yeah.
something else?
Well, it's a French Canadian mixed with Paris. I lived in Paris. Yeah, because of my job, I live in Paris twice.
Okay.
So what happens is when I had to call people for my bus, they would always make me repeat 5 times because they couldn't understand my French.
Oh no.
So I was there for 4 years the first time, and I resisted, changing my accent to the very French because
Yeah.
it's so different.
Okay.
But eventually I gave up because I went back for another 4 years. And
Okay.
so it's a mix between French Canadian and French.
That's funny because whenever I voice text, even though I've been living here my entire life and I speak English, gosh darn it, it doesn't always understand what I'm saying.
There you go. There you go.
It's embarrassing. Can you hold on one second? I want to put her outside. Just give me
Sure.
one. Come on.
Sure.
Come on. All right, I just opened the door so they can all come and go as they choose. Look at them; they're all here, just like.
Oh, that's so nice.
We're scared. It's nighttime.
I've been so worried about Fiona from the start. Is she doing all right?
She's doing great. So, my biggest worry is Millie playing so rough with her.
Yeah.
I don't want her to play so rough, but Fiona's doing really good. Look at she's talking. Fiona. Yeah, but she's good. We come over here today because Jamie's out of town, so I wasn't able to go back and forth like I normally do. So I just brought all the dogs over, and look at her. She's beautiful. But,
yeah, she is definitely. Well, you know, I watch you all the time. I'm usually the first one to say hi on Facebook, and then I go to YouTube on TV because I have YouTube on TV here.
Well, man,
yeah.
You watch both channels then.
Definitely. So yesterday you reminded me of something really funny that my husband died a few years ago, but you know, when you got the argan oil shampoo, my husband eventually decided to also shave his head.
Okay.
And thinking that he would get rid of the problem of the dandruff, right?
Okay.
And so eventually he goes, I'm like a snake. Look at my head. It's full of dandruff, even though he didn't have any hair. It was so hilarious. He said he still had to wash it with shampoo after that.
So this is interesting and kind of gross, but I got an email about the shampoo today. And someone says, do I know where that oil comes from? I'm like, no. And so they said that they sent me an entire Google story about it. So it used to be, or I guess it still is, it's a nut that grows on a tree in, I guess, Morocco. And so in the old days, they would let the goats eat the nuts and wait until the goats would use the restroom and then collect the poop and extract the oil from
Oh my God.
poop. And that's the way it was done for years, and even is done that way today in the rural parts of the country. Wow. But they also had now, of course, have factories now that collect it and actually do it by hand, which is obviously a little bit cleaner, but not as. Yeah, they let the goats do all the work for them, which is really funny. But
I actually have the very same shampoo you got yesterday, but I buy it at the dollar store.
Okay. Great. That's funny. So it's a dollar store shampoo?
Well, you got it from Amazon, so it's probably twice the price at least.
Okay.
You know, I've been wanting to speak to you for at least 2 weeks, but I retired before the pandemic, so everybody else is much more, it's better with the computers and everything to do. And so for 2 weeks, I've been trying and trying, and now finally, I'm a big fan. I'm a top fan of yours.
Well, you know, we don't call them fans. We are family. We insist on all of that. Okay. I don't feel comfortable with that fan word. I don't think that I'm worthy of fans, but I'll tell you what, I'll welcome you into my family anytime, Aline, and I'm blessed to have you. So thank you
You're very kind, very kind. Do you want to know why I'm a survivor?
Please, I would love to hear personal stories.
Well, it's not a very nice story, but I'll tell you the positive afterwards. So I retired after 35 years in the foreign service.
Okay.
I retired at the end of June 2019. And by the 16th of September, I lost my dog first. And 9 days later, my husband had a heart attack in front of his computer. And even after he passed away, he was still sitting in his chair. It was the most freaky things that had, like retire. Finally, I can spend time with them. Yeah. And so that's my survival story. When I found your page, it was such a blessing. And now I'm totally hooked. I want to watch all your channels, not necessarily all the morals. Jake is a little too alive for me sometimes. So, but I like starting the videos, and then when it gets too freaky for me, I stop.
Okay.
But I love all you guys.
I think I mean, that's the beauty of it, though, is that, you know, I'm a Survivor may have been the page that started it all. And we were only blessed to have, you know, I always say this, we took a step to that open door that, you know, God opened the door, I feel like, and we took a step through it. And so all of the different Moros that have chosen to make a page, even though we all live here in the same spot, we all pretty much use, you might say, the same content as far as the animals, the land, the stories, each other. We all have our very own unique perspectives that we bring. And so I think that Jake brings a lot of youth. He's a handsome guy. He doesn't wear a shirt a whole lot. And I think that the attraction to that is, and this, I don't think this personal. This is not personal for anybody who's still watching right now. But I think that women, when they watch a Lester video, a Paw video, a Jake video, even my son LE, there's a very different vibe you get from all four of the Moro men who make videos. Yeah. And Jake is he just exudes youth and kind of foolishness. Nothing wrong with that. That's youth. Yeah. And so it's appealing to some people. It's an escape to some people. And there's nothing wrong with what he does. It's just different than the way the other guys make our videos. But would I love to have some of the devout people that stick up for him and support him? Heck yeah, because you don't say much about Jake without having someone shaking their finger. But
whenever you do something that I really disapprove of, I just don't comment.
Oh no, you can comment.
Well, I don't want to comment, but what I used to be very worried about so many things, you know, in my life, that now, I don't know if you saw this message that I sent you one like this week or was last week, because you talk about being anxious a lot.
Yes.
And for some reason, something popped up, you know, like they suggest on Facebook or something, this lady comes out as if she was really someone that I needed. And she says that code, the 54321 code. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
So when I was really worried, and I still am sometimes, I want to stop thinking about whatever worries me. And as soon as I found out about this code, 54321, it's like a miracle, because you stop instantly. It's like you reprogram your brain.
Okay.
And instantly I stopped thinking about it and it goes away. So I wanted to let you know about that. And there's also other things you can do with that code on Google. It tells you.
A lot of people are saying Sandy Brock or Sandy Brock. Does that name sound familiar?
Maybe that's her who popped up on my on my
I don't
face.
know why that name was here in the comments quite a bit. So I don't know.
But anyway, just for you to know that it really helps. And the other thing that is the positive about, I have the negative, but I always try to look at the positive, is the job that I got was my number one.
Hold on,
my
everyone's
number
saying go get the dogs, but if you look in the background, the dogs are both asleep by the door. So they're both inside already. Everyone's saying check the dogs, bring in the dogs, but the dogs are in on their own. So go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to tell you that I was lucky enough, now that I look back at my life, I was lucky enough to get my dream job, which was to live in other countries.
Yes.
And I got it as a dare. Somebody said, somebody showed me the ad for the job, and I said, oh my goodness, I would love to do that. And she pushed the ad towards me and she says, you try.
Okay.
And I got it. And for 35 years, I was in the foreign service, and I lived abroad for 27 of those 35 years.
Wow.
In 6 different countries. I loved every minute of it. So that was a good point, because that's how I met my late husband, and we were able to do it together.
Yes. I'm so sorry about how that worked out for you. It's like, and I think that's true with a lot of people. You work your entire life and you dream of retiring, and then all the plans that couples, partners have for when they can finally retire, they save their money, they do all that they can do, they get the kids grown and out of the house, and they finally reach that point of retirement age, and then something like that happens, and there goes all of those dreams and all of those plans, and that's really saddens me. So,
and it happens like you can't even. He had a heart attack, and he already had 2 cardiograms a month apart from each other before he passed away. So we could not have done anything more than that, but I'm okay now. That's 3 years ago, and thanks to you, you're the man that I watch every day now, because I don't have a man in my house.
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel like I'm blushing now. But,
I'm blushing too.
Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment, and so I will try to live up to that. I'll try to be the man who can continue to make you smile.
Oh, you're very kind. You're very kind.
My mission. Good.
All right.
It was a pleasure talking to you, and
same here.
Thank you for sharing your story. It's powerful to hear other people's stories, and it's also very humbling for me to get sometimes into a mood where I feel like, poor me, poor me, poor me.
Oh, yeah.
What else can go wrong? Come on, God, why me? And then I hear stories like this and other stories that we've heard tonight, and I think, wow. I says, listen to me, Lester. Like, I'm crying, and I don't have no reason. God has been so good to me. And other people have struggled so much with their health and with losing partners and with just, you name it. And so it makes me better in, hearing stories. So thank you for sharing that story with me and everybody else, Aline.
I wouldn't be surprised that you have so many women followers, because when men cry, we can't resist. We have to do something for them. So maybe that's why, one of the reasons anyway.
Well, I wish I could say that I have no problems with that, but I hate that about me. I don't know why that has become a part of more than what I want it to. I know it has to do with some deep stuff that I haven't completely figured out yet. And so there are days that are harder than others. And usually if I was a smart guy, I would turn off the camera on those days instead of trying to get things off my chest. But I also know that getting things off my chest is very therapeutic. I've been taught that, and it's true. And so sometimes getting things off your chest or saying things that are on your heart do sometimes lead you to feeling a little bit weak emotionally. And so, I'll shed a tear or two here and there. But I can't say that it makes me proud of myself to be a man that'll cry. No, absolutely not. But thank you.
As long as you feel better afterwards, you let go of that pressure in your body. I think that's a plus. You always look at the plus, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I love talking to you. I hope it happens again, but I'm getting better at this, StreamYard stuff now.
You just gotta click it from what I hear. Just click it.
Oh, but I can't click it on my phone. I tried. That's why it took me 2 weeks.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I made it.
Well, bless you. Well, you can always email. I don't always reply right away, but I check my email and I do reply to the Longhorn Lester email. The Lester's Place is the name of it. So
I just wanted to say one last thing. When I don't know if you saw the video when Jamie was in the garden beside your house at I'm a Survivor, and there was a butterfly.
Okay.
After my dog died, I had a butterfly in my house, like maybe a month later, and it wouldn't leave me alone. It would land on my head, so I had bought a book about the grieving process. After you lose, and it said in there that very often after you lose a pet, I believe that they could still be with you in spirit. And so they want to show you that they're still with you with like either a butterfly or a little bit. So I believe that when she saw the butterfly in her garden, that it was Maggie.
Oh.
And it was there a couple of times, I think.
Well, that's beautiful. We are planning some stuff to do in the garden with Maggie and some of the stuff. So we'll talk more about that in a future upcoming video. But I got to get my shoulder to heal before I can do a lot of work out there. So. But I do have some really neat plans. So, all right, Miss Aline, let me grab a few other folks. But thank you. And it was a pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Right. Take care.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Here we go. Sarah St. Louis.
Yeah.
Now, is that your name or are you Sarah from St. Louis?
I'm Sarah from St. Louis. So I'm actually
Sarah from St. Louis. Yeah. So I'm happy to see that you're wearing a turtleneck because so on my screen, I can see very tiny thumbnails of the folks who are waiting in the lobby or in the green room, whatever you want to call it. And I thought you had a neck brace. I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen with Sarah? What happened to Sarah? It's a turtleneck. So woo, that's a relief. So
it's cold here.
So you're in St. Louis. So how cold is it there?
I think it's like in the 30s right now. But
you guys got a very early snow this year, huh?
Today actually, today. In a school, and we were all doing the snow dance, but it didn't work.
Are you a teacher?
I am actually a school counselor. I am my
That's
internship.
awesome.
I graduate in 3 weeks. So
oh, bless you.
Yeah.
So what grade do you plan on working with? What age group?
I'm hoping elementary. Right now I'm in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's fun.
That's good. So let me ask you, and so I'm just curious, but and I hope that you don't judge me for saying this, but I think that at the end of the day, as a counselor, when you quantify the role that you play in the kids' lives, this is very important to me, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I remember that when I I taught school for 25 years, and the counselors in the elementary schools were more about helping with scheduling, helping with parent conferences. If there was a teacher parent that had to have a conference sometimes, I don't really remember the impact that the counselors had compared to what you're doing now in middle school. Now, I may be wrong, and I don't want to belittle elementary counselors. So please help me and help everybody else, because right now what I imagine you're doing are taking teenagers who have been abused or living in some kind of abusive situation. And I just can't name all of the things they come to school with that's on their minds, and, hunger. And I'm sure they're they're in poverty and so many things. They have all the temptations that are out there. And I just feel like when I taught middle school, I feel like that made a bigger difference. Tell me that I'm wrong, and
So
tell me how I'm wrong.
yeah, well, so like last semester earlier this
Yeah.
year, I worked with elementary, so
Okay.
with kindergarten students. So kindergarten students, especially coming out of the pandemic, had no social skills.
Okay.
Out of socializing them or
Yeah.
regulating behaviors, little tips that kindergartners have, just solving friendship issues,
Okay.
classrooms and doing lessons while there's on like diversity, friendship, social ability, things like that.
Okay.
Middle school, it's kind of the same, but it's a lot less classroom time. It are
Right. Yeah.
things
They
like
come to you, I guess.
yeah, so they come to us, and there's things such as friendship still, but like you said, maybe poverty. So we
Okay.
help them get some food assistance through our school's food pantry, or
Okay.
academics, scheduling. We have scheduling conflicts. We're
So
doing
y'all still do scheduling in middle school then?
yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay.
there's that. You do the IEP meetings, which is the individualized educational
Right. Yeah, I remember all those. Yeah.
So we're kind of a catch-all, but we do want
Oh,
every student, every teacher, admin, anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll ask you this: do you prefer kid time or paperwork? Because I bet
No.
you're bogged down with paperwork.
Yes. No, kid time, definitely, because
I
that's
bet
like
so.
that's the heart of why we did this. The paperwork just happened to come with it, but
The hardest thing that I ever had to do, I was a very young teacher. I would probably, I think maybe 30, maybe younger, but a little girl came to me and I was the one that she wanted to talk to about her situation. And I'm not going to give all the details here, but it angered me. It made me so mad. It made me so mad. And so in Texas, and probably this is a statewide thing, there's a protocol of how you go about and
like
who you
being a reporter.
Yes, and so there's a protocol that you have to go through, and it hurt me. It hurt me so bad hearing her tell her story, and so I've only really maybe heard one child come forward and tell me that she needed help. But I would think as a counselor, you have to somehow go to bed every night knowing all of the kids that come to you needing help. And that would just be so difficult, I would think.
Yes, it very much so is. And I know personally, like last year, I kind of broke down just knowing like this is what I'm going to do. And, they tell you can't save everybody, you can't help everybody, but you want to. Like, how do you,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's hard, and you do have to find your own, like downtime, your self-care, things like that, because it mentally can be taxing and draining.
Yeah, I imagine so. Well, bless you for what you have made your career choice. I admire that.
Well, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about you, and besides your teaching, what's your story? Because everyone has a story. I've discovered that.
Yeah.
You have to be a unique kind of a person to watch this channel. You have to have undergone something or found this page and it did something for you.
Yeah, so it's actually funny.
Please don't say Jake. Please don't say, oh, I'll follow to see Jake.
No. Although I did like his jail Thursdays, jail food.
Oh, his cooking show.
Yes.
But that was short-lived.
Yeah, my mom actually found you.
Okay.
And, she's gonna be so jealous that I'm talking to you. But I think it was the Harvey. But then also Run Maggie Run. Because in 2019 I lost my Maggie, which Maggie, it was a boxer. Actually, here I have a picture of her.
Oh, it was a boxer?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. She looks like Maggie. Is it a he or she?
Yeah, it was a girl, Bree.
She looks like Maggie.
Yes. And so just, I get to watch what I saw as like my dog in Maggie. You know, always by your side. When you're sad, she's grieving with you, things like that. So connecting with that definitely kept me watching. And then just, your sense of humor. And honestly, whenever I'm having a bad day, like to hear you laugh, it makes me, it's just,
Wow, I feel flattered. Thank you.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
so these are things that you would, you just don't hear very much. And I mean, I read the comments, but it's powerful to hear it from somebody. So thank you so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate you saying that. And have you ever thought about getting you another Maggie or hoping to find another Maggie? Or are
Yeah.
you like me and you refuse to you're never gonna live up, they're
Yeah.
never gonna live up to it?
And I am so like I was so obviously heartbroken when everything happened with Maggie, but what exactly happened with Maggie and how she passed, my dog actually did the same thing several times. So I was just like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm like with you.
Did you ever figure out what it was? Because we didn't get an autopsy done or anything. We just
No, I think it was just like seizures, kind of, what you assumed.
Yeah.
But she would like spark like real quick, like wake up from it.
Yeah.
But no, and she unfortunately, I took her to the vet to get her teeth cleaned, and she never from that. So
Oh no.
yeah, so she didn't pass away from that I know of, but I definitely, relived that, and I was just like, oh my goodness, it must be a boxer thing.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you weren't with her when it happened. That probably was hard to go in to pick her up from her teeth, and they say
Yeah.
she passed.
Yeah, it was definitely hard, but like I said, your videos just kind of, made me feel connected, and just her. So
Hey, isn't this kind of dumb? But in a way, aren't we all kind of like counseling each other here?
we are. See,
True, we're like counselors here. We're like all like counseling each other. All these counselors are helping each other with different things.
Yeah.
Well, I am sorry about your Maggie or your Maggie. And I'm kind of the same thing. I have these two beautiful dogs behind me somewhere, and I have Trixie, who I'm trying to get in the straight and narrow. And today in the truck, I had put Fiona in the front seat so she wouldn't be in the back with all the other riffraff, but she couldn't get comfy. She couldn't get her hip comfortable. So I put her into the back seat on the floorboard. She did the entire floorboard. The other two, Trixie and Ritzy, were in the back seat of the truck. And I put Fiona in the front with me. And I'm sitting there driving. And if I don't feel Fiona's nose come under my arm, she wants to put her head over here. And I'm like, don't you do it, Fiona. Don't you start trying to touch me. Like, that's what Maggie would do.
Yeah.
Maggie would put her hand on mine or put her head under mine to just so I could touch her. She wanted to be touched. And I sit there and I saw Fiona and I'm like, I'm sorry, Millie. I meant Millie. And Millie's sitting there doing all these. I'm like, Millie, don't you do it. I'm not gonna fall in love with you that way. I'm not gonna love you that hard. I'm not gonna do it. And I'm just gonna, it's kind of like a person who's been hurt in love. They just don't want to, I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna fall. And I'm like, gosh, that girl. But then I got home, and if that girl didn't go off that truck and start chasing everything around here, and I'm like, okay, good. Whoo, I can scream at her. So one funny story that I'll tell you real fast, and I know I'm going to be in trouble when this video comes out, but in this same video, at some point, Millie starts chasing the guineas. Now, do you know that I have this hate for guineas?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm using very strong word choices, but in a funny way, like, don't do that. That's a really bad dog. Oh, that's a really bad dog, what you're doing right there. You're going to get the spanky stick, and I was so happy for her. She's chasing these guineas out of my yard, and these guineas are all flying off in every direction, going back home where they live. And I'm like, man, people are going to want me to scold her for doing that. But I was like, cha-ching, yes. So
yeah.
I love her.
My dog was, when we rescued her, she was a farm dog. So we would let her out, or we had a dog door. She would go out, and most days she would bring in like possum.
Yeah.
Playing possum, but a possum in my house.
Excuse me, I had to cough. She was playing possum in your house?
She would bring a possum.
She would bring him inside the house.
And it would play possum, and then I would freak out and go and try and find a shovel or something to get it out of my house, and it would run away in my house.
Sarah, that's funny and scary. Better than a snake, though. Better than snakes and rats, I would think. But even so, a possum. Yeah, my door is wide open here. Now you got me worried because I left the door wide open, and I don't know where everybody's at. So hope they don't come in with possums.
Yeah, no, thankfully. But before I forget, the one question that I wanted to ask, which was funny because I was gonna ask your brother, like, when did you do TikToks with Brinley? So funny that the TikTok whole thing was part of this going down. But a question I have for you is, being in St. Louis, and I'm about an hour away from where Jamie's from.
Okay.
Every time we hear that Jamie's here, we're like, man, we should go to the airport because we would just love to meet her. But we want to know when you're going to come up here. I know you got a lot of responsibilities down there.
So, that's actually been a touchy topic here with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because Jamie wants to go home for a couple of days. And I says, Jamie, I can't go. I can't leave both properties. Jake's not here. And if he was here, nothing against Jake, but if he was here, he's not a full-timer who's always here. And with having both properties, animals at both properties, the time of year where they need feeding, at least once a day at both properties, our farriers who we've actually had house sit before, they have a baby now, so they're not available. So I says, Jamie, I just can't go. You're going to be on your own. And she's like, this is another year and we're going to do it. I'm going to tired of going by myself. And I know how that must feel. And I don't mean not to be able to go, but I says, I think that your family understands if they really know us and they know our situation, we just can't up and leave. And I know other people up and just leave and go, but we don't have that luxury. I have to be here. Yeah. And so I don't know when I'm going to make it to St. Louis, but I don't know. I need some things to line out around here, and maybe having this second property bit off more than I could chew, you might say.
Sure.
I'm happy that we found the property. I love it over there. The dogs do good. The animals are doing great. It's beautiful. It's just so peaceful. And I don't ever want to think that was a mistake, but it has made life very, very busy for me with the driving every day and maintaining both properties. And now, like you say, Thanksgiving's coming up. Jamie wants to go visit her grandparents and see her mom and her son. And I'm like, you have to go, Jamie. You don't have to stay here because I'm here, but I just don't see a way I can leave. I just can't leave. So
yeah, that's hard. And that kind of reminds me of what I forget her name, started with an A. You spoke to her, but how she had all these plans when her husband had retired and it didn't happen. So the counselor in me is just like, figure it out and go. I don't want it to be too late.
You telling me that? Oh no.
Yes.
Hey, did Jamie pay you for that? Did Jamie pay you to say that?
She did not. But
he's like, I'll find a girl with a pretty face. I'll put her on there and I'll make you. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's from St. Louis, so she's gonna have a reason. Yeah.
And you're from St. Louis. Boy, I tell you what. Jamie, that sneaky devil. So
okay.
Anyway. Sarah, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks. And thank you for sharing all your story and for doing what you do with your life. That's a beautiful occupation. And there's a lot of kids who are going to find themselves at some point feeling blessed they ran across you and that you were there in their school when they needed you the most. So keep up the good work. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have some hard days. You do know that. Yeah. You know what you're getting into.
Yes. And thank you for saying that.
All right, sweetheart. Take care now. We'll see you later.
Good evening.
Bye. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more. I can do this. It's like a marathon, y'all. It's like a marathon. Mary Rose, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing real good. Mary Rose, can you give me 1 second to go close my door and grab me something to drink? I will be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, all of the dogs are in, Mary. Okay, here I am. I'm back. How are you doing?
I'm good. You actually spoke to my mom before, Stacy.
Okay, and when I spoke to your mom, what did we talk about? Do you know?
How she's from New Jersey.
Okay.
You talked about my stepdad and how he has.
Wait, was that today?
Yes, today.
Was it a while ago?
Yeah, like 2 people before me.
What are you and your mom both doing on lives? Are y'all in the same house?
No, I'm in college. I'm not at home.
So wait, you're like, you and your mom are like saying, guess who I'm talking to? I'm on a live with Lester. And by the way, here is the StreamYard code to get to his live. Is that what y'all are doing? Like sharing things?
Yeah, my mom actually FaceTimed me from my stepdad's phone, and she was like, I'm gonna talk to Lester. And then she FaceTimed me. You guys were talking, like, Mom, I gotta hang up. I'm in the waiting room to talk to Lester.
That's funny. Mary, I'm just Lester. Y'all make it sound like this is a big deal. Oh my God, this is Lester.
I know,
It's
but
old,
we watch
goofy old Lester here.
Yeah,
That's
we
funny.
just watch day.
I think that's awesome. I remember your mom. She lovely lady. She almost started crying. And
Yes.
yeah, we almost got to the cry. I'm like, yeah, someone
I
else
know.
cried besides me for a change.
Yeah, she's really not a crier. So when I saw her start tearing up, I was like, oh my God, like
You're like, this is gonna get good. Were you like screen recording to catch it all on a video? Something you could taunt her with and tease her with later?
I mean, I could just pull it up on YouTube and be like, Mom, look at this.
It's gonna be here forever. Yeah, well, wow, that's funny. So
Yes.
what brings you to the page, Mary? How do you know about this old hillbilly here in Texas?
So I think it was like 2 years ago now. My mom watching you guys on Facebook, and I don't remember which goat it was, but it was one of the goats getting caught in like a soccer net, or
yeah, one of our golden girls, one of the little black goats.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
believe.
And mom was watching one of those, and you were like screaming, and I was like, "What are you watching?
What's
on
wrong
there?"
with this weirdo? What's he screaming about?
And
I forgot about that.
And my mom was just like crying, laughing, and like then she started watching more of your videos, like on the TV, because we have YouTube on our TV. And I got hooked. And,
Oh no.
And like she said, my stepdad is starting to get hooked as well. So we're gonna be a family soon.
Does she have you saying sheesh at all?
No, I don't say sheesh.
Well, you just now said it pretty darn good, so you probably say it more than you realize. So you're not saying
the more explicit sheeshes.
Oh, that's funny.
So unfortunately, I have a bit of a mouth.
Oh, well, there's nothing wrong. You're a college kid, man. Y'all have an excuse for all that crazy stuff y'all do. You're college kids. Yeah, that's funny. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you. So do you have any stories about yourself you want to share as far as like anything you've gone through that kind of connects you and glues you to all of us?
Yeah, so I love that you guys are so open about people having a story and being survivors, because even though I'm 20 years old, I've still gone through a lot in my life. Like when I was very young, I started having really bad anxiety and depression. As I'm becoming an adult, like it becomes worse, and like so like it's about different things. Like obviously when I was young, it was more about school, and it still is about school sometimes because I'm in college, but of course you think about like how people think about you and things like that. But you guys, like whenever I have a hard day, I know I can go on YouTube and there's going to be some funny live, which I love how often you guys have been going live, because it's like my nighttime watch after I'm done with the day.
I thought people would get tired of this at some point, but I was like, as long as people are coming, then I'm going to keep doing it, because this is my time. This is real time. And there's something special about real time compared to a pre-recorded video that you're watching. I don't know if you feel the same way or not, but as a guy that makes a video every single day, either from one of the properties, sometimes both, and I can schedule it for the next day or the next day. Either way, when you're watching it, you have to know, oh, that was before. That's not actually happening now. And so I love going live because that's real time, and whatever time it is where you're at, it's here now, and we're talking in real time. And there's something unique and special about that, I think,
Yeah.
you know?
I think it's super cool that like I'm watching you as you're doing it, you know?
Yeah. I wish I could go outside and do more. Our internet here is so horrible. And so if I get too far from the house, I end up having all kinds of signal issues. But that is my goal, to one day have good internet where I can actually walk around and actually interact with the animals live. So in real time.
I completely understand that, because on my college campus, like I'll be FaceTiming my mom, and usually you have to have pretty good connection for that.
Yeah.
My Wi-Fi will just cut out, and it's like, geez, like what's going on?
Yeah, and
So
it's horrible.
It was internet issues.
Also, have you found it hard to talk about your depression and anxiety to people because they just don't get it?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
have you found a good support group in all of that?
My parents are definitely very supportive because they've gone through it.
Oh, okay. I mean, hate to say yay, but it does help when people kind of get it, you know?
Oh yeah,
So,
like my dad and my mom have both gone through it, so they completely understand when I started to go through it. But it was definitely more difficult when I was younger, because a lot of people just like didn't believe me.
yeah.
Like I started going through this when I was around 8.
Okay.
So at that time, like my parents, my mom more so than my dad, but
Yeah.
they understood what I was going through. But like extended family members or teachers and things, it's sad to
Yeah.
say, but they thought I was faking it for attention. But
Oh, you know.
yeah, which is definitely hard to kind of see and hear from people. But as long as I know in my heart that I'm not faking it and that I'm overcoming the hardest thing I've ever had to overcome, it's really it's really empowering, and it makes me feel really great to see where I am now compared to where I was then.
Good for you. You kind of got a grip on it, then it sounds like.
Yeah, I've been
Go
talking
ahead.
to it for a while, and it's very helpful.
Oh, good. Good for you. Yeah, I think that it took a lot for me to finally go and see somebody, because I knew there was something wrong for a long time. But, you know, I don't know if it's just the man in me or the small town mentality, or, you know, I always kind of was obviously the older timers, and I say old timers, but I know I'm getting up there myself. But the other generation before me, it was just, you don't talk about it, you know, you either drink it away, or you beat the hell out of somebody. But you know, it's not your problem, it's their problem, or whatever. And so I'm a different generation where I realize that there's something out there, that something's wrong. And and then it was my boss, actually, the one I always talk about. I have a boss I worked for so many years, and she was the one that called me in, and she said she wanted me to talk to a doctor. And I said, "You are my doctor." She has a doctorate. I'm like, "You are my doctor. I talk to you all the time." She goes, "No, I don't mean me doctor, a real doctor." And so that was like a slap in the face. Like, it's not just my imagination. Even my boss and people I work around were seeing me change. I was cutting ties. I was cutting off long-time relationships and friendships. And I was reclusing myself to being alone. And there was just changes that were happening all around that she picked up on and noticed, and encouraged me to go talk about it. And it made all the difference in the world, just to be able to find somebody who I could trust, who wasn't going to laugh at me and wasn't going to say, "Come on, man, snap out of it, you dumbass. You know, look at you. You got everything in the world going for you." And how crazy that even here, 4 years later, after, I would say my life is doing my life is doing really well now. I'm in a strong relationship, and financially, all the bills are getting paid. The animals are all doing healthy. We got both of the properties, and life has just been really good. my kids are healthy, my family's healthy. And yet some days those you wake up and you just kind of feel it coming on. I don't know about you,
Oh
but
yeah.
I just feel it coming on, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go through this. And I'll say, Jamie, I'm like, listen, there's nothing that you've done. It's just me. I'll deal with it, you know? And I will start taking my prescriptions because I have them prescribed as needed. And so I know enough to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to take all this out on somebody else. I'm just going to start taking my prescription because I need it today. And so I feel a little bit guilty that whenever I lost Maggie, even though it wasn't anxiety, I know that the anxiety and the antidepressants can sometimes kind of like make you a little bit less, not quite so, I don't know the right word I'm looking for, but they can kind of like make you not quite so attached, and they can kind of like numb you.
Yeah.
And so I took more of those than what I probably should during those days because I did not want to feel. I'll just say feel. I didn't want to feel. And I hate that because I had to give myself time later to feel. And then I felt that like if I would have just got it over with and just let myself feel and get it out, and instead I just feel in little chunks. I feel and feel and feel. And so I feel like it's lingered on so much longer because I refuse to just let it go, you know? But
yeah, I went through something very similar. I lost my Maggie around 3 years ago now. Her name was Bella. She just the best dog. She was just my best friend. And like she was always there for me during my hard times, and like losing that best friend that was always there during your hard times is a million times harder than anything you could have ever done. And I remember like the day she passed, like of course I was very emotional that day, but I feel like it was just like stuck inside of me for a little while. Like it almost like so many emotions that it just all couldn't come out. And then it would come like little spurts. And sometimes I even still feel upset about it.
Wow. And it's been 3 years later.
Yeah.
Well,
April 2019.
So it's, I mean, if it's any comfort at all, I'm reading some of the comments over here, and someone's saying here, I feel it coming on too. I hate it. Can't hide it. I just take care of my grandbaby, a foster grandbaby. So I just have to get through it for her. And so that's what I do a lot. Cynthia, I feel that I sometimes find myself saying that I have things that I have to get done and I have to get through this. So I'm not going to let myself just kind of lay around and turn off the lights and close the door, you know, and I get up and go. That may not be the healthiest thing. I don't know if that's the healthiest thing, but it's what I do. It's just what I do and how I cope with it, you know, without going to prescription pills.
Yeah, like that's similar for me. Like there'll just be some days where you just wake up feeling really down, like no particular reason or anything. You just feel that day, and it's weird. But like being a college student, like I have classes to get to and commitments that I have, and that kind of gets me going in the mornings. And I know that like I understand the feeling that you have to get up and go for the day.
Yeah, just one step in front of the other one and just go. That was Jamie saying hello. Did you see that at the bottom?
I love Jamie too. I watch her all the time.
Good. Well, Mary Rose, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm going to go ahead and let you go and grab a few other people on here.
And I just I love your chicken shirt.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Was a gift. I don't know. I can't remember now. This is from last year. Who gifted this to me? But it's like overalls with the rooster stuck in the pocket. And it's just really a hoodie. It's just a hoodie. It's a hoodie. So
I know.
Isn't that funny? Anyway, that's funny. I'm funny that you noticed that. So, all right, sweetheart. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And good luck with the rest of your college and stuff. What are you studying for?
Business with a concentration in marketing.
Oh, okay. There you go. Good for you.
Yeah.
Is there good demand for that?
There is. Yeah. It's very popular right now. And I'm in more of the scientific field of it. So they're looking for a lot of women in STEM, which is like the technology majors. So there's definitely a demand out there.
So are you and your mom going to both take your little snippets here and like compare them and like talk about who Lester talked to longer? Who did he laugh at? Who did he smile to? None of that kind of stuff, right? Okay.
No, my mom is going to be bragging for days about how she
No, it was a pleasure talking to both of you. And I will say that your mom has more of a Jersey accent than what you have. You seem to have lost that somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how, because I still live in Jersey. I'm just in a different part. I'm more towards the New York area.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't hear it in you, but I could hear it in your mom, which I thought was lovely. That's neat. So, all right. Well, take care, Mary. It's nice talking to you.
It was nice talking to you too. Have a great night.
Hey, you too. Bye now. Okay, my friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6, 7. Can we do this? Can we do 7? I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit. Guys, I'm looking over here, and this live has been going for 2 hours and 51 minutes. And no one does that. That's like unheard of. That's unheard of. And probably kind of sickening. Priscilla, how are you? Oh, no, you're on mute, Priscilla. You're on mute. Click your mute. Mute. Your microphone.
There we go. Hi.
I hear you.
Hello, Lester.
I've spoken to you before.
No. This is my first time.
Oh, it's your first time?
Yes, yes.
So the background looks familiar to me. Who is this over here?
This is my husband.
How you doing? What's your
name?
Scott.
Hey,
Lester. Scott?
We love you guys.
We love you. Oh, well, it's a pleasure meeting you both. What are you guys up to, and why would you be on this so late tonight?
Oh, I love you guys so much. You guys bring us so much happiness and joy. I love all of you. You guys always are hitting on something. If it's not you, it's your brother. If it's not you, it's your dad. If it's not you, it's Kim. And if it's not them, it's Jake it's...
You watch all of this crazy.
I do. I love you guys. You're just like my family.
We take pride in that, man. We want to build a social media family.
Yes.
Fan stuff. We don't feel comfortable like that. We say we're going to have a social media family, and we try to make it stick.
Yeah, I even love Pop stories. Their grandkids are just so precious. Oh my gosh, everybody's just cool. I love the animals. I just love everything about it.
My dad and my mom are consumed with so many kids over there right now. They never get a free break to themselves, and so I guess they like it. They enjoy what they're doing.
They love it. Yes, it's your grandkids for sure.
What do you guys do with your time? Besides tomorrow videos.
I know, that's all I do with my time. That's what I know. My husband here works a lot.
He probably hates us.
No, he doesn't. He sits there and he laughs in the back and he says, "Oh, that's what's going on now." And he tries to keep up with me. So yes. So, but yes, I love everything. You guys have such a heart of gold. I don't know how to say it, but you have such a heart of gold. I'm Native American, as you can tell.
Okay. Well,
I'm a Navajo Indian from Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. We cover the 4 states.
You sure do.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you then, because I am actually happy to be talking with a true. Did you say Native American? Do you refer to yourself as Native American, Indian?
A Native American, indigenous. We really don't. It doesn't faze us. Whatever. Just don't call us late for dinner.
So that's funny because I always joke because I saw it in the comments sometime. Someone says Lester, and they were Native American. They says Lester, Native Americans don't care what you call us. It's the white people that have a problem with everything. And I'm thinking, is that true? Is it the white people that are the ones who are trying to police everybody on what's politically correct? Can we still say Native Americans? Do we say indigenous people? Do we say, I don't know. It's just so scary. You don't know what you can say anymore and how to address people without offending them in some way.
Offending them or something like that. But I think if you're comfortable with who you are, I always encourage Anglo people, that's what we call them.
Anglo, white boys.
Anglo, Bilaganas. If you use my language, it's Bilaganas.
That's me. That's me, Lester.
Where are you?
Okay. So you're used to it.
Get used to it. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're comfortable with who you are, I love to hear about all kinds of cultures. I love and I learn from everybody. It's just not one particular person that I love. I think we all need each other and we need to be unified, especially in this world nowadays. I really, really do. I think we need to just accept everybody and embrace and love, just love everybody for who they are, even with their shortcomings. Do you know what I'm saying? Even with their hiccups that they have, it's okay.
I try to preach that in my videos, and I say, listen, you're not always going to agree with what I say or what I do. There's so many different, I would say, different types or methodologies of running a farm or a little ranch or whatever you want to call it. And people are going to sometimes they would not do it the same way that you do it.
Right.
But I'm very open to give me your ideas. Some things I try, some things I've already tried and didn't work. And some things I know they don't work for us. They don't work for what I have set up. They don't work for our style. They don't work for our situation. But a lot of folks can't handle that. It has to be done this way or you're dead to me. You're
right.
And of course they say a lot worse than you're dead to me, but it can be pretty harsh on the internet.
But isn't that what life is all about, is learning?
Yeah, learning.
I mean, you learn and you just kind of capitalize on that and say, oh, that didn't work, so let's try something else or something like that,
Yeah, but also, go ahead, Scott.
We go back home and it's all all in perspective, because some of the people some of the ladies that I work with and stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, it's barren and desert and hot and whatever, but it's all in perspective of what because sometimes it's like we just go there it's all just to like some unwind, just to because back home where she's from, there's pretty much no service. I don't care what kind of phone you have, there's no service. And sometimes, man, it's just nice just sit up by on a board and on a crate and listen to the wind and the birds and what Mother Nature has to just settle, and
it's a serenity that is there.
Have y'all ever heard of the story? Scott reminded me of something called the 6 or the 9. Have y'all ever heard about that?
No.
So I'm going to try to show you this drawing over here. So these two men are walking down this path towards each other, and they come across this. It's probably backwards to you, isn't it?
Which is the 9. No, you're right. It's good.
Right. They come across this drawing in the sand, and the guy walking this way, he swears. I mean, he will swear up and down that what he's seeing is a 6. But the guy who's walking this way says, no, you don't understand. It's a 9. Everyone it's a 9. Everyone knows that. And like Scott said, it's really all about your perspective. Everyone sees the world differently because we all have a different perspective. And so from the perspective of some folks, it's a 6, or from others, it's a 9. But it doesn't mean anyone's wrong. It just means that's see it. No one's wrong. We don't have to be I'm right and you're wrong. And that's what the world has forgotten, that you can all be right just based on, Well, I'm intrigued, Priscilla, with your ancestry. Longhorn Lester's, the other property that we have been blessed with, has a very rich history. And we have found, and the former owners had an entire shoebox full of the most amazing artifacts that who knows how long they date back. but just the topography of the land, running alongside such a wide and deep river.
It's so beautiful.
Lester, back home, they have pottery still from 2,000 years ago from the Anasazi Indians.
Oh my gosh.
It's just that you just, you leave it, but it's just that to actually from like 2,000 years ago to find like an arrowhead and to know that proof that
they were a civilization and that they lived there.
Well, whenever I've found a couple of things that I refused, and I've touched them and looked at them and cleaned them up, but I put them back because I tell myself, why do I want to take things and put them in a box the way the former owner did? And that was his thing. He would collect arrowheads and spearheads and tools and pottery, and he put it all in the box, and his box stayed in his closet. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to find it and leave it there. And maybe someone else will find it in years from now who would want to do more with it, study it, or whatever they do. But I'm just intrigued to know that the same land that I live on and walk down and take the dogs for walks and take care of the cows and the birds was also the same lands that people a long time ago did whatever they lived there and thrived there, and they fished in that river and hunted in them woods. And I love that. And so it has been a really neat investment for us, and I'm just intrigued with it. So
it's beautiful. And I love the way you respect it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the important thing, is that we respect other people. I mean, when you go into somebody's house, you respect their house. You know, you're not like, oh, I would like to have this and I would like to have that. Let me just take it from you. It's totally somebody else's belonging, and it meant something.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your guys' home and everything for all of us.
We're all about family.
Yeah,
thank you for saying, Scott. I appreciate that, and thank y'all for sticking around so long. I know this has been the longest live of all time. I don't know.
Do you see my hat? Do you see my hat?
I can't read it, but I do see a pretty color green. What does it say? Hold on. Do your best? Is that for DJ?
Yes, DJ's channel. I always talk about the goose that you guys send over, that Houston sat there and incubated, and he's there, and I can't wait for your
goose is doing good, and it's turned into a gray goose. It's a gray goose too.
Yeah,
I love your ostriches too, man. And we learned a lot from your. Oh my gosh, what a journey to watch those ostriches and stuff. But man, I was kind of intrigued and kind of learned a lot about you and with those ostriches, man.
What me about it is that was never a mission of ours to learn about the ostrich.
Jamie just like, man, gosh, man, bless her heart. You said, all everything she does, she's a doctor, nurse, medicine,
right? She does everything. That's what I love about Jamie. She's hands-on.
We started off with one, and now we have 7 running around. And I'm like,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me get off of here, you guys, and grab these other few people and go ahead and start calling us a night pretty soon. It's getting late. So it's.
I thought, Lester, I thought you would hand me one of your hats so I could wear it proudly.
You must have saw what I did for that other lady that one time.
I did.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to wear my hat so he can give me one.
Well, she promised to burn hers, so you ain't gonna burn that one though.
No, I'm not gonna burn mine. No, I wear it with pride.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lester.
What I did was open Pandora's box with that.
Did you?
Yeah, because if you could see the number of emails I've gotten from people who have sent me requests for things, and I just don't have enough stuff to send out across the country and across the world. So
how come you guys don't do anything for Jamie's page? How come you get suits and boots, hats, or shirts, or something like that? Because I would buy one. I would buy one.
it's very time.
It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
And of course, DJ does all their own. They do all of their own shipping and all that stuff. And we don't have time for that. You know, running properties. I'm very busy, and Jamie's super busy with working and trying to still upload a few videos here and there. We do our lives, but no, that's good for Daniel and DJ. That's what they've chosen to do. That's the angle they've gone with their page, and bless them for that. But we just don't have the time that they have. We just not now.
You continue doing what you're doing.
That's
we
good,
love
yes.
you guys. So God
for
bless
sure.
you guys.
All right,
For sure.
See you. Thank you, Priscilla.
Okay. Take care. Love you.
See you
Bye.
later. Love you. Bye now. Okay. Carrie, you're up next.
Hello.
How are you? And my God, how long were you going to wait for me?
Well, I was going to say, I'll keep it super quick because I'm late for a class with my dog. But
wait, you're late for what?
For a class with my dog.
Like an obedience training, something?
Similar. It's scent work. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just for fun, just to keep her doing something else.
Well, that's neat. Yeah, we've been advised to do stuff like that with ours, but I don't know. I just like them the way they are, all undisciplined and unruly, all over the place. They're hilarious.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll keep it quick because we're supposed to be there in 1 minute. But
what kind of dog do you have? Tell me.
I have a greyhound. So.
A greyhound?
Yeah. So
was it a rescue, or did you buy it, or what?
Her original owner passed away.
Oh.
And long story about how she came to live with me, but she's been with me for 4 years this week.
Oh, bless you.
And
does she still get out and just like to run and just go?
She only has 2 speeds. She's either flat on the couch or going all out.
Or hauling ass. Just like hauling ass. Okay.
So I'd like for her to come in here, but she's in the living room on the couch.
And doing her own thing.
Yeah, and actually, around the time right before Sookie went missing, I sent Jamie a picture of my dog Silver.
Okay.
And my Beagle mix Loki. I don't know, just Loki and Sookie really reminded me of her. So yeah, Silver I've had for 4 years. Loki I had for 18 years, and she was my heart dog.
What kind of a dog was Loki?
She was a little Beagle Basset.
Okay.
What mix? But
so where'd you get the name Loki from? I know that on we watched Vikings, and one of the characters is named Loki, I believe. I may be spelling it different than the way you say yours, but where'd you get the name from? I'm curious.
So I was in college, and long story about finding this dog, but my boyfriend at the time, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna name her Loki," and I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not naming my girl dog.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, it's the Norse god of mischief." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh yeah.
We'll name her Loki. Oh my gosh.
Cute. I had no idea.
I learned from that never to give a dog a name it could live up to.
Oh no. Well, that made it interesting, I bet.
She was she kept me on my toes for all of those 18 years.
Oh, that's lovely. That's funny. Well, Carrie, thank you for saying hi. And I'm sorry you're going to be late to your class. I see your clock there behind you showing me what time it is.
Yeah, that's okay. Like I said, it's just for fun. She has fun. But
Good.
I had to laugh at the hat comment a couple people made because I am a hat person. I'm surprised I don't have a hat on right now.
Is it my fuzzy hat y'all are laughing about?
No, your baseball cap.
Oh, what was the comment?
About wanting one. I need a hat.
Oh, a hat. Oh, you're trying to get a hat too?
Not a free hat. I will buy a hat. But
well, we don't sell them though. We try to keep that content exclusive, which means you can't just up and do hats. Do you wear caps? So
all the time.
You're a cap wearer?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'll throw one on as I walk out the door here. But
yeah, the problem, Carrie, if I was to say, yeah, send me an email and I'll see what I can do, then I would get 100. Actually, there's 2,300 people watching now. I'd probably get 2,300 emails saying, "Hi, I'm Carrie, and here's my address." That did happen with the other lady. I forgot exactly what her name was, but there were several emails claiming to be her, and I was like, "Send a picture to prove who you are." And finally, I got a picture of the real her, and I'm like, people are sneaky. Just sneaky, you know, because they had to go create an email with her name, and which I'm guessing takes 5 minutes. I don't know. just to try to get a hat. And so when I got 3 emails from the same person, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I said, send a picture to prove this is the right one, because I got 3 emails. Someone sent a screenshot of the live, and that was their picture. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, if you ever had them, I'll buy one. I already have a sweatshirt, and a long sleeve shirt from before. Now I need a tumbler. So if hats ever go on there, get myself a hat. But
get yourself a hat.
Yeah. But well, yeah, I was going to say, I've been watching for a few years. Watch every day.
I'll tell you what, Carrie, if you can find my email, it's not that hard. We'll see what we can do. We'll figure something out. Okay.
All right. Well, I know people all have their stories, and I know I said I was going to be super quick, but
I want to hear this. This is the part I've been waiting for.
Okay. So
I live for this. Okay. I live to hear people's stories.
I'm very boring. I'm very boring.
All of the other stuff that we talked about is just kind of like small talk. This is what I want to hear.
All right. Well, I have something that you might find interesting. I've been very, very blessed, very lucky. So far, I've lived a very, what I would consider boring life. Haven't had any major traumatic events happen, which, like I said, I'm very lucky. But I did play women's football for a number of years.
Okay.
Semi-pro professional football is the highest level football in the US because we don't get paid. But I have MS, multiple sclerosis, and that was one of my motivators to play football.
And you were able to play through your MS.
I was, and that like I said, that was one of my motivators to keep moving, keep going. And then a couple of years ago, it started progressing, and my neurologist was finding like, maybe you shouldn't play a sport where you're continuously bashing your head. So,
yeah, I was going to say that probably is a pretty rough sport. Yeah. That's still tackle, even though it's not like flag or you pull the flag.
No, it's full on tackle. So now I'm coaching for that team and also on the board. It's actually a nonprofit.
Well, good. So you're still involved then.
I'm still involved. So
well, good for you.
So yeah, every time, I hear people's, their stories and their challenges, and I think, oh my gosh, I'm just so lucky that, I haven't had any, what I consider to be major struggles in my life. And I mean, MS, it is a struggle in some ways, but I'm also very, very lucky that I've led, like I said, what I consider to be somewhat boring life up to this point.
I don't know. I would say that a woman who plays football with the whole time overcoming her MS and still gets out there instead of choosing to lay around and take it easy, what a fighter. That's amazing. And so how does it affect you now? So you said that pains you now, like, is it like a spinal pain? Is it somewhere, can you treat it? Or do you have to deal with it?
And at this point, it's just dealing with it. And it's not pain. It's more neurological things. Like the tremors, the shakiness, some memory issues, stuff like that. But
so it affects you even with your brain and stuff, like mental stuff.
Yeah. And, treatment, I've actually been without medication for almost a whole year just because of the cost of the medication and insurance, is a mess. But yeah, it's behaving relatively quietly. So I'm happy. But, I know in the future things won't be as easy, but, I have a good group of friends and family that are there behind me. So
what is the future of MS? Like what is the long term? Do you know, like, what is the long term?
So there's different forms of MS, and people can start out at different stages. So I have what's called remitting relapsing, where I'll have some exacerbations, whether it be, for me, like a prolonged period of where I'm super shaky all the time, or I'll have issues with mobility or walking sometimes, but then it goes away and it kind of settles down. Eventually, it will progress into more of a progressive form of MS. Now, that could be 2 years from now, that can be 20 years from now. And with all the research and everything that's being done, I'm very hopeful that there'll be more treatments available that will kind of delay that progression. and it treats men and women completely different. A lot of men, when they're diagnosed with MS, it's in that progressive stage where they very quickly lose their mobility. It's a very fast progression for men. For women, it seems to be a little bit slower. So eventually, depending on how long I'm around, it'll eventually progress to a more progressive form of MS. But like I said, treatments just in the past 20 years that I've been dealing with this have been incredible. So I'm very hopeful that in the future there's going to be, I don't want to be so hopeful to say that there'll eventually be a cure, but I think there's definitely going to be treatments available to slow the progression of it.
I certainly hope so. And I guess a lot of folks that have been diagnosed with certain, even cancers, they're just kind of like holding on, hoping for that cure to come. And as medicine progresses rapidly in some areas, slower in others for some reason. But so you're not alone in hoping, to hold on long enough till you get some kind of progressive medicine that can take it. And I don't know, can you say cure it? Is it something curable or just treatable?
At this point, treatable, mainly because they don't know what the cause is. There's never been a consensus that has come out.
I'm sorry, I don't know much about it, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's basically, quick summaries. You have proteins that surround your nerves. It's called myelin, and what MS does is it attacks that myelin.
Okay.
It breaks down the protection around your nerve connections, and once that protection is lost, then that those nerve connections are interrupted, and so that's kind of the very short, super basic explanation of MS. But they don't know why or what triggers that attack on your myelin protein. So they have to figure out what causes it to be able to know what, how to cure it. So I've been very lucky to be a volunteer and working with the MS Society even before I was officially diagnosed. So I do get a lot of great information from them.
Oh, good. Okay.
And I live in Utah, which is a very high incident rate state. So there's a lot of research going on here locally, which is great.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, listen, thank you for being such a fighter and for doing all that you've accomplished, even despite having something that most folks wouldn't dare get out there and be able to do as much as you've done. So I admire that. And it's that fighting spirit that I think glues a lot of people in all of this, and that's beautiful. So thank you, Carrie, for sharing your story. And sorry I didn't get a chance to meet your greyhound.
Silver, come here. Silver.
You got to call him.
She's on the couch. She's done for the night. She'll be excited once I grab her leash. So.
That's fine. Well, y'all have fun. And I'm sorry that you're late to your thing, but I appreciate you coming and saying hi to us.
Worth it. Appreciate it.
Bye, Carrie. Bye. Okay, guys, we have a few more people who are joining, but we're not going to be able to get to anybody else. I'm going to go through the folks that are here now, and we're going to jump on, and everyone's going to have a chance to say hi. But this has been going on for a really long time, so I really have to get off of here. So how are you all doing?
Pretty good. You're doing great.
I know that this seems a little bit unfair that I'm having to make you all go at the same time. Hi, Emily. I don't mean to make you all go at the same time, but I feel like the longer this thing goes on, I'm just dragging over here. I have things to get done, and my dogs are probably they're miserable waiting for me to get off. So, how's everyone doing?
I'm doing good.
Does anyone
You're
want to
keeping
share?
me from cleaning house.
I'm keeping you from seeing what?
From cleaning house.
Oh, so that you're just trying to find an excuse not to have to clean.
I'm happy.
What time is it where you're at?
I'm in Oklahoma, same time as you.
So you're saying Central Time Zone then? Okay.
Yeah,
Emily, you're in Iowa.
It's 7:12
It's
here.
9:12 here.
So Iowa's
Yeah.
9:12. Holly, what about you?
I'm in Deer Park, so I'm saying
You're right here down the road from me, Holly.
yeah, I know. And the last one I got to talk to you for like 30 seconds, and then y'all shut down. So
And then what happened? Internet went bad?
No, y'all, the same as this. You had to get off.
Well,
So I didn't talk to you very long.
So you're saying this is the second time in a row that you've got on, but I had to get off as soon as you get on.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's all right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not on purpose, I promise.
Oh no, I know. It doesn't matter. I'll get to see you at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you watched some early videos then?
Yeah. I have to get my daughter off to school in the morning.
I'm trying to see.
Same here.
If it's 5 o'clock, y'all watch the Facebook video.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what's playing tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'm curious. Let me look here real fast. So,
hopefully it's something about the ostriches. I love the ostriches.
So, do you watch my Longhorn Lester page by any chance?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to eventually stop playing stuff on the I'm a Survivor page if it's in fact stuff that I make at Longhorn Lester's. So I'm hoping that people. So no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be stuff here at I'm a Survivor, and then Jamie's afternoon video will be from over there. So the Ostriches is coming up November the. Does that say the 18th? But you know what I'll do? I will put that tomorrow morning. How about that? Know what you want? So I'm going to change that date till tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. These are all great videos. I'm going to change that till tomorrow. What's tomorrow? The 16th? Okay, there you go. So now you have a Carl video tomorrow in the morning, okay?
Lester.
Yes.
I have to tell you that I've watched you for so long that
Yeah.
what got me started to really watch you all the time was when you first got little pig Trudy.
Oh,
that was the first video I saw.
She's
my favorite animal.
She's a sweetheart. I love her. Do you know that today when I brought the dogs over, this is the first time that Millie has been here, and Pig Trudy was out in the pasture with all the goats, and she saw this new dog she never met, and she come running over, her hair on her back stood up, and she got right in front of that gate and was just eyeballing her, which to me was saying, if you want some, come and get some. And she, you know, it may not be Annie who's protecting the littles anymore, but Pig Trudy's like, I'm not letting you through here.
I
And
would
that was
talk
the
about
neatest-
her like she was part of my family, and my friends would say, "Who is Pig Trudy?" I said, "Oh, you got to watch her. You've got to watch her. She is so precious."
Who's Pig Trudy? That's cute. I
Talk
love
about
her.
her every day.
Wonder why she rolls around in her food and doesn't eat it. Have you ever noticed that? I don't know what her deal is.
Yeah.
But you get something to eat, she'll roll around in it, and she doesn't eat anything, but it's all over her.
That's the most funniest part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
love
cute.
it.
I think, someone sent us some more Fig Newtons, the little candies, little cookies. And I'm going to take them out tomorrow and feed them to her, and I hope she'll actually eat them and not just roll on them.
She's a hoot. I love her.
I love
Hey
her
Lester,
too.
I have a question for you.
Yes. What's the question?
I know you're a teacher, right?
Well, I taught for 25 years. Yes.
What is your best experience in becoming a teacher? And also, what advice can you give to a following teacher?
So,
Because right now I'm in college.
Okay.
And I'm studying to become a teacher. Well,
So
more or
that's-
less a teacher assistant.
Okay, well, that's a great question, and I think it's a pretty easy answer. I was taught early on that you have to build relationships, because as a teacher in the world we live in today, you're not just the teacher. You have to be the uncle or the dad or the mom, or you have to play so many roles with your kids. And can I make you bigger? I'm trying to see if I can make you bigger. I don't know how to do that. Sorry. I would like to make you bigger since I'm talking to you, but no, you have to play so many roles. And so you have to go into your classroom knowing that these kids are going to come to you hungry. They're going to come to you without resources like supplies, no paper, no pencil, no this. And so a lot of times they deal with so many problems at home that they come to you as an escape from home. And so you also got to be a loving figure who's going to greet them in a loving way, make them feel welcome, make them feel like they're an important part of your classroom or your family, your school family. And here's what I've discovered is that if you will show your kids that you love them sincerely, then they will give you the world. They will give you the world. As much as they can give you, they'll give it to you. And so what I've learned is that, especially with, everyone knows that standardized testing is just this big, you have to pass this test every year. And these kids don't care about a test. They don't care about this test. Teachers care about it. Principals care about it. These kids don't care about it. They care about their next meal. They care about the bullying what's happening down the hall, about how, what the pressures they have, the abuse they're taking from people, parents. And the last thing on their mind is, I have to pass this test. Right. But what I've learned is when you can take your kids and you bring them to the classroom. I don't know what you're going to teach, but I did language arts, which is reading and writing, and I would actually read to my kids, and I would have really good chapter books that was on their grade level that they could read on their own, and I could easily go to my computer and text and type or whatever, but I would read to them. I would put this computer or the projector, and so the book would project across the big screen, and I would read to them. And at every paragraph, we'd stop and talk about what we're reading, relate to real life, make connections. And they learned that we're not so different after all. I may be this white guy from this small little town. They may be Black or Hispanic or, Asian. It doesn't matter. Once we found a way to connect through literature, and they saw that, wow, this Mr. Morrow, he's not so different after all. Maybe he doesn't deal with gang. Maybe he doesn't deal with whatever, but he does deal. He deals with life. And that's what I think it was. It was just building relationships, celebrating birthdays, letting them know that you appreciate them for who they are. And like I said, they're not going to want to give you a hard time because they know that you don't give them a hard time. And they don't have any reason to mess with you. And sometimes, this is kind of funny, but I would often say, Delilah, why are you mad at me? What have I done to make you be so mad at me, to be so mean to me? And I would say, here's what I did for you, Delilah. I stopped this morning and bought lollipops so the whole class could have a snack, and these are middle school and high school kids, okay? And I gave everybody a lollipop. That means I have 6 classes, so there's 30 times 6 is a lot of lollipops that I spent my money on, that you all got one. And when you walked in, I shook your hand, or we did a special handshake. And I took time to tell you about, and you get to know them, because ultimately that test might be important, but it's not going to help you build that relationship. So you got to kind of prioritize what the kids need compared to what you want those kids to need. And so years from now, they'll come back and they'll find you and they'll remember you, and you'll help get them from this point in their life to this next point. And that's the most beautiful thing, is 10 years from now, when those kids are 30, 40, they got their own families, and you get that email or that Facebook friend request from this kid that you used to know as a little kid. Now they're a grown man or woman with a family, and they tell you that they appreciate you and thank you for what you did to them. And that's beautiful. That gives me chill bumps, and it makes me miss being a teacher, believe it or not. I love what I do now, but man, I miss those days. I do.
Yeah. I'm actually wanting to teach elementary school.
Okay.
Kids.
Yes.
The little ones.
How little is little? Like what ages or what grades?
Probably 2nd through 4th grade.
Okay. So those grades are big on reading. And so if you teach in elementary school, you might actually be what they call the self-contained teacher, where you teach reading, writing, math, science, social studies. You do all of those things. Yep. So you'll have to divide your day into, and so what I've learned as a secret is, if you're teaching math, integrate your science, because they kind of go hand in hand. And if you're teaching reading, integrate some social stuff because they also go hand in hand. You can find ways to give yourself more time by combining your subjects. I'm sorry, everyone else is like saying he's talking about boring stuff. Let's talk about animals.
No, actually, I love it. So no big deal there. I actually have an autistic daughter, so I kind of relate on everything you're saying.
Okay. I hope that her teachers don't make her feel like she's different or that she's not as valuable of a team member as everybody else. So
No,
good.
they don't. They do exactly what you said. They
Okay.
like work with her and everything. They read to her and everything.
Okay.
She's in first grade, and she's at a sixth grade level for everything but math.
Oh, wow. So she's actually, okay, good. And so math is her.
She's doing a lot better than she was.
Yeah. Well, that's great to hear. She must have good teachers in that are supporting her and helping her along. Okay. Well, you guys, it was great talking to you all. And thank y'all for
one more thing.
around for
I
so
love
long.
your sweatshirt.
You what?
I love your sweatshirt, by the way.
This thing?
Yes, I absolutely love it.
Try it earlier, go.
I thought it would be funny with Daniel and Kim coming over tonight to wear something really goofy. And so I found this. I've never worn it out in public, but I'm like, you know what? I've worn that silly fuzzy hat all week. So tonight I'm going to wear this and just really
I like
freak
that
people
fuzzy
out.
hat, though.
You like the fuzzy hat?
Yeah, I do it.
I feel like I'm like a Ukrainian or a Russian soldier. Like I'm all like.
My dad actually used to wear that when we lived up in Alaska.
It is warm. It's very warm, but it's not even that cold here. It's been in the 40s, so I don't.
It's
you
snowing
know,
where I
Holly,
am.
it's not that cold here. But
It's cold to me, Lester.
it's cold to me too, but not fuzzy hat
I
cold.
got my fuzzy scarf on. I've got
I see
layers
it.
on.
I see you got your layers on there.
It's
I
like
have
20
one
degrees
layer.
here in Iowa,
But
and it's
you
snowing.
know, I was born and raised here, lived here most of my life. So, 50 degrees is freezing to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you can see your breath, it's cold.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm from California.
Danielle is showing us her screen. Can y'all see the snow out her window?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
Where in the
Yeah, it's
world-
not bad in Iowa.
Dan, where are you at, Danielle?
I'm up in Bemidji, Minnesota.
Oh, is that right? In Minnesota. Sheesh.
Wow.
That looks
Yeah.
really cold.
Yeah, it gets really cold up here.
Yeah, I couldn't handle that.
You're my very first Christmas present.
What?
Getting to talk to you. You're my first
Oh,
Christmas
stop. You're
present.
trying to
Yeah,
make
same
me
here.
look. Y'all stop already. Listen,
Same here.
if we were neighbors, if we lived like next door, then y'all would see that I'm just another guy who lives next door. There's nothing different.
That's what we love about you, Lester.
Yeah, if we lived next door, I'd be coming over all the time to see the animals. Just saying.
Well, I would hire you to help feed because I swear to God, I can't get these kids over here to help do anything. I've never seen such lazy
I
kids.
know. I used to live on a farm.
Good.
Lester,
You
I got
just
to talk to
made
you once before. What about
you
the
have made my day. You really
Hold on,
have.
I can't see who's
Thank
talking.
you.
Who's
I'm sorry.
talking?
It's me. I
Okay.
said you've made my day. Thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you,
much.
Eliza. Thank you very much. What were you going to say, Marco?
About the pea chicks or the peacock.
Yeah.
Have you figured out what is male, what female?
So not officially, but unofficially. So my friend Jason that gave them to us, he made a video about his peacocks and what they discovered. And supposedly Mary Carl had called it early on by a different wing pattern. And so I looked at that video where Mary Carl said which one she thought was winch. I went outside and we do have the exact same bird with that same wing pattern, which is a male. So we will have at least one male. I'm certain of it. The other one, I'm pretty sure is a female, not because I know, but because it does not have that same wing pattern. So I'm guessing one male, one female.
Awesome.
And that's awesome.
Nice.
That's the baby
That'll make a nice
Turkey's
little
doing.
partnership. Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank y'all so much for sticking around so long. And listen, it means a lot that y'all say the things that you say because I don't deserve any of that. I really am. I'm just a regular guy who does regular stuff. and very, very blessed to be a
But that's
part
why
of.
we love you.
No,
That's
it's
right.
wonderful talking to you.
Yep,
Thank
we
you.
do.
Hey,
Uh,
Lester, tell
Yes.
Jake he needs to make more funny videos.
I haven't seen Jake in 2 weeks, and he won't come home. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He's liking Alaska.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Alaska's cold. I used to live up there in
I don't
8
think
months.
it's Alaska. I think it's somebody in Alaska.
I don't know. I feel bad. Jake is Jake's a good kid, but he's also the guy. He's the kind of guy that will go on a date one time, then fall in love, and that's
Yeah.
one date. And
Got a
so
big heart.
he's had so many broken
Yeah.
relationships, and I'm like, Jake, slow down. What's the rush? Go to Alaska, enjoy yourself, but don't move in. You don't move in. And he's gone over there and moved in, and I'm like, here's what's going to happen though. At some point, he'll run out of money. And once his money's gone, he's gonna say, "Sheesh, I got to get back to work. I got to make some more videos. I got to do something to make some money here." And we'll see how long that love lasts. Once he's the broke guy in Alaska.
Yeah.
Also, he has to come back and help build up the fence for his farm.
Yeah, he starts a farm, then he
Yeah.
goes off for I
What is
know.
up with that kid?
I don't know.
He'll miss Moo. He'll be back. He's missing Moo.
He'll be back. All right, you guys. Y'all have a wonderful night, okay?
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Thank y'all so much.